Tom is getting better.
He's still not good.
Still not great. Romo has his ups and downs. There are former players that are very good, but there are also former players that are not. Dude, I can't stand Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah.
I can't stand him. So there's a lot of that,
he's
too.
milk toasty, and he, slides in and does his thing.
Yeah.
And then you have the GOAT, Mr. Madden.
Yes. Not a former player, though.
Well, he played, but
right.
But it's a lot like the Hall of Famer that ends up going to coach or be an owner.
Mm-hmm.
They typically fail.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why can't we just be good?
I'm not sure.
You know what I mean? No, I'm saying that's the attitude they have of well, I was this good. Why can't we be? It's like Michael Jordan was a god awful owner.
I was telling Swag about the Gonzaga UP game, and I was telling him.
You were telling him about the game he was at?
No. I was telling him that I'm actually excited that Gonzaga's going to the Pac-12 because then I can root for UP. I can't root for UP against GU. What I'm going to do about Wazoo GU? Oh God, I don't know. Well, I know what I'm going to do.
You know what their vulnerability is if they get matched up in the tournament?
It just hurts my soul. I'll root for Wazoo.
No, man.
I'll root for Wazoo.
Shout out Swag. Great line. Ain't no bluffing.
Ain't no bluffing.
We think.
My headline on Reddit for the game just said in all caps, "It's over," and I thought that was just. I want to think that whoever placed that either got blind luck or listens to this station.
They know.
They have to know.
It's over.
It's over.
They had to know.
No, it is. I went tattoo no numbing cream.
Good for you.
I'm a man of the people.
Good for you.
I'm
surprised they got as much work done as they did.
Shout out my artist Tony. I told him I'd shout him out. Shout out him in his studio, Snow Wolf Tattoo down here in Portland in Goose Hollow. I had two different artists come in during the tattoo, and at both different times, they were like, "How long have you been going?" I think I've been going for like an hour and a half on one. I think I've been going for like 3.5 on the other.
Mm-hmm.
And both times, the artist was like, "What? I have never seen somebody work that fast." It was just bonkers. How I'll throw it up on. Are we up on YouTube now?
Yes.
Yes. Here we go. I had to refresh.
I don't know what happened there. I had started
okay.
it, and then it stopped.
I'll put it up on the YouTube so you can see it. Ow. It's always fun. So it is a massive, massive, the whole arm thing right now. And he punched in a crap ton of detail in the face of the lion. The mane still needs to be finished, and the bottom scenery needs to be finished. But he did so much shading and undertones, and it's crazy. I was sitting down for it. I didn't lay down for mine, and I had a mirror in front of me. And I'm not scared of needles, but I don't love needles.
It's weird though. A tattoo needle is very different than
it is
needles.
So I stared straight forward and watched him in the mirror for the longest of time.
Just staring at him.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of just watching him go to work. The only part of it that really hurt at all was on the back side of my arm. Other than that, it wasn't too bad. It felt like somebody just pinching the crap out of you. Didn't even hurt. Uncomfortable is the word. But by the time he got done, because he punched in so much detail, he was wiping my arm off to go full Chris Pratt. It was like a marker. It just kept wiping and wiping and wiping. It was still there. But I looked at him. I was like, "Yeah, dog. Can you just keep tattooing and not wipe? Because this is the tattoo. The needle doesn't even I don't even phased by it right now. But every time you wipe, I'm like, oh please God, no! Please don't do it. My skin was so raw at the end. But we did about 6 hours and." Everyone that came in and saw it was like, that looks like it's 10, 12 hours worth of work. So I got to go in for one more session, probably another 4 to 6 hours, and then maybe a little touch up. But very, very, very happy with it. If you're looking for some work, Tony Bermudez at Snow Wolf just dialed it.
I think you're a coward for not getting it under your arm in your tricep.
Well, I have other things that are happening that would prevent that from happening.
That is by far the worst place. Well, maybe not worst, because I've heard ribs are pretty rough.
Yeah, inner thigh too. I've heard that is a nightmare.
I cannot imagine the head.
Guy was getting his in the room next to me. He right behind his ear, which I'm like, that's just raw bone. There ain't much to work with there.
Felix Hernandez has the giant V for Venezuela on his neck. Cody Rhodes has an American flag on his neck. Well, I don't know about that.
Kenyon Martin has his whole neck tattooed.
Oh, yeah, Birdman.
Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes is fully tatted.
So, dude I was talking to, he just got out of the Air Force. He's a load master or crew chief on C-130s, and he, we were just kind of BSing back and forth. I'm like, what do you do for a living? He's like, I work on. And he looked at me like, huh. I know the look. I worked in the military. There's a 99% chance you're not going to know what I did. And he's like, I work on planes. I was like, oh yeah, what'd you do? And he's like, I was a crew chief. I'm like, what aircraft? And he's like, 130s. I was like 130.
Grilling him just to one up him. Is that what you're doing?
Well,
here?
no, like it becomes like this thing of like, oh, you know the language, and we started talking back and forth. It went from like one like little. It was like and we were obviously both Air Force, and he's getting tattooed right behind his ear, and he just all of a sudden it looks like gets that look on his face like a dog like scratching behind his ear, like the deep wince and like you could tell. I'm like, you good? He goes, no, not good.
I definitely want to do my other arm. I don't know if I will. I know the wife is not jazzed that I want to do the other arm. But what I also wanted is I wanted to do what like Messi has. He eventually got to this because he has, I think it's his left. I think he's like me. His left is a full sleeve. Mm-hmm. His right is completely clean, or it's the opposite. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then the opposite leg is full sleeve.
Oh, balanced out.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
So when I
also kind of want the same tattoo on my left
on
my
side.
right.
Yeah. When I got done yesterday, sitting there looking in the mirror, and my first thought was I just, I had a cut back tank top on, and I had both arms. And I'm like, well, that right side's awful naked now. Need to get one on the right side.
They say there's an addiction to it. To getting tattoos.
Yeah. I don't know if there's an addiction. I think it's like the ones on my back, they're all mirrored.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's balanced. So now I feel unbalanced.
Yeah.
So
my problem is mine's just black and shading. And so right where the t-shirt line is, you can definitely see a differential in my skin tone. The old farmer. That makes it a little tough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I try all summer long too. I'll like drive home in the car and roll my sleeve up with my arm out the window, just hoping that it will get some shade. The problem is so is the bottom part.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I wear a LeBron James elbow sleeve
just to even it out?
It right at my shirt so I can even it out?
Yeah, it's I'm a drive home, like especially in the summertime, like getting done golfing or working out or whatever, tank top. That way, just the whole arm is out the window, just so that goes away.
I like the window down as much as possible.
Dude, I was driving home with the window yesterday.
Yeah, it's been super nice of late. I love having the window down, especially if music's blaring. Make people listen to my insufferable music.
That's fair. There is, to me, of like the simple pleasures in the world, there is nothing better than either a really nice night or a really nice day in the afternoon, in the summertime. Driving with the windows down, music blaring, and just shutting out the rest of the world for like 15 minutes, and just that is like I don't take a ton, nor do I need a ton of that really like me personal time, but when I have that moment, I love it. I like that is I have a playlist that when the summer officially gets here, it does not get played until the summer gets here. And yes, it starts with California Love.
Oh yeah, that's great too.
It has to, like, that is the official. It is summer. Let it go. It's followed up by Regulators.
Oakley dokley, we got a great show for you today. We're Super Bowl heavy as we're getting closer and closer. It is the NBA trade deadline. There's some stuff that's gone through. We will be live on the air when that goes official at noon. So do not worry. We will keep you up to date on that. The new news is that the Milwaukee Bucks have basically decided not to entertain any more offers on Giannis Antetokounmpo, which leads me to believe the Blazers will stand pat. We'll see how that goes. Less than 2 hours till we get to that. It is a 10 Toes Down Thursday, so get some of those in. If you want Blazer questions, we can do that. Olympics, Super Bowl, parties, gambling, whatever you need. We'll do that at 12:15, 12:30 if we want. But when we come back, let's get into some Super Bowl chatter, the history of these teams, and I wonder if I'm going to see something that I've already seen before. We'll start there. 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
10:17 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. We're live, baby, as we always are, from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. She lets you interact with us throughout the entire day. You can also say hello on the YouTubes as well. 105.1 FM is the channel. Come say hello. Coming up this hour, somebody who had tried to clean up his reputation kind of went full nuclear yesterday or a couple days ago at Press Row. So we're getting to that guy, and yeah, baby, we got baseball for you today. Weird situation out of Detroit. Weird situation. We should know the answer to that today.
Is it today? Okay.
It is today because it's only like, I'll explain arbitration when we get there. It's a weird thing, and even, I mean, I'm diehard baseball, and even I don't understand it all the time. So we'll get to that, but I thought it would be fun to kind of just have a loose connection here with the Super Bowl and the history of these teams. We obviously know the Seattle Seahawks 11 years ago won a Super Bowl. The next year they fell short by not running the ball. That's one of the famous Super Bowl moments of all time.
Run the ball.
Yep, so we know that with the Seahawks. They lost to Ben Roethlisberger, who, I thought the Steelers were the better team. I thought the best player on the field in 2005 was Matt Hasselbeck. But they gave a touchdown to Ben Roethlisberger, who I don't think was over the line. So that's kind of your Seahawk history there of Super Bowls. Obviously, the New England Patriots go on a giant run with Tom Brady, unless they play Eli Manning or a backup quarterback in Nick Foles. That becomes a problem for them, but they are one of the most, if not the most decorated program in the NFL history. I was thinking about this, Danny, with Drake May in his second year with the New England Patriots. It reminds me a lot of the first time I ever saw the Patriots in the Super Bowl in my lifetime. That would be the second-year starter Drew Bledsoe against Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious, I don't know why, but I feel like there could be a lot of parallels with this team and that team. Now, the problem is Bledsoe ended up not being the guy to bring them Super Bowls there. And I'm not saying Drake May's that necessarily, but there were a lot of dudes on that defense that were not household names then.
They became them.
Fast forward 6 years later, and they became household names. Teddy Bruschi, Ty Law, Willie McGinnis, etc. I wonder if this Patriots team kind of echoes that a little bit.
It certainly feels like it for sure. And it's, we're roughly the same age. Russ, you're a lot older.
Ouch.
God, I hate you.
Step into a Slim Jim.
Trevor, just want to make sure you pay attention.
From the top rope.
From the first half of our lives, the Patriots were awful.
Yes, they have an appearance in the 70s, or it's the 80s.
That was the Bears.
It's the It's 85 Bears. Thank you.
42-10, I want to say.
Yes.
I want to say it was either
Walter Payton doesn't have a touchdown.
It was either 99 or 2000. They had the lowest winning percentage of any team in professional sports in North America. Like, they were that bad. And I remember they flipped the stat because they used that to lead into the Tuck Rule game. So it's 0-1. And because the Raiders at that point in time had the highest winning percentage in North American sports. They had won like 71 or 72% of all of their games.
Well, they were good for a long time. Like, solid.
The Raiders?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, the Raiders were like the excellence. Mm-hmm. That's what they were.
Just win, baby.
Just win. Like, the Raiders were always good. It was kind of like the Blazers were for 27 years. They were just always good. And like if you like, that's title team or that's a real contender. Like, that was a thing that just happened.
54%.
Except it was 72. It's a lot of wins.
It's a lot of wins.
But speaking of the history side of this, it's kind of funny how it's almost a funhouse mirror effect in the last 20 years, right? And how they have been so good with a little blip for so long. But it's almost like I don't want to say they figured out the formula, because the formula is have a good quarterback, have a good coach.
Easily. The easy formula in the NFL. Just get yourself a good coach and a good quarterback. But I saw one on the tree outside growing.
But they have identified traits. Mm-hmm. They have identified characteristics, not only at coaches and quarterbacks, but at positions around the field in different eras. Mm-hmm. Now, 17-1 be damned. That's the most insane offense we've ever seen.
Sure. It's probably, despite losing the Super Bowl, it's probably still the best team ever assembled.
It's the most dominant teams we've ever seen. I mean, what Brady and Moss were capable of doing on any given day was just unfathomable.
Side note, I saw this. Do you know that Wes Welker does not have a Super Bowl ring?
They never won with him, did they?
Nope.
That's crazy. Well,
and then he went to Denver and lost with Peyton Manning.
That giant helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We'll get into a little bit of like GMs in the 11 o'clock hour because I do think there's a lot of it. But I think what the Seahawks and Patriots have done are still similar and still akin to what their previous history is.
Oh, they
good defense, solid quarterback
They're
play.
using the formula that they have identified.
Mm-hmm. And I know that there's a lot of people that you told me on the way walking in, you were kind of like, I'm not really jazzed for the Super Bowl. And I hear that from a lot of people, and I'm really confused as to why. Like I understand.
I think Seattle's going to smack them. That's why.
That might be fair, and I think there's definitely Patriot fatigue. But this team, there's the only person on this team that's won a Super Bowl with the Patriots is Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels, and so this concept.
It's the banner, not the team.
I know.
It's why are we tired of the Lakers?
They feel so different to me, though.
Do the Lakers feel different when they win a title? Do the Celtics feel different when they win a title? No. Tired of them.
I don't know. I thought that Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown felt different to me than KG and Pierce.
I just saw a stupid leprechaun being raised to the banner again.
You hate those guys.
I do.
Is it because they have leprechauns like Notre Dame?
Yes.
It just reminds you of the same thing.
I'm Irish as hell, and I hate that little leprechaun.
I don't know, and this might be the value that I have that I kind of sometimes brag about, but I definitely understand the negative side to it on my world of not having a team. You know, was I getting tired of the Patriots? Totally. You know, am I tired of the Chiefs? Totally. I get it. Mm-hmm. But also, like, I don't, at the end of the day, don't really care who wins. I kind of just want one of the better team of the day to win.
Sure.
And not have bad calls and injuries, et cetera, et cetera.
For sure.
So I feel like I've been able to separate myself and look at this Patriots team as a rising team, as somebody with a quarterback that is genuinely likable, genuine talent, has the potential to be something very great. I mean, he's going to finish second in the MVP this year. So, like, clearly he's doing something right. Flip it over to the Seahawk team. I don't see Legion of Boom. I don't see Let's Ride Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. You know, I see a journeyman quarterback who's figured it out for himself and an up-and-coming defense with some really, really nice pieces, peaking at the right time. And that might be the difference between these two teams and why I'm still stoked for the matchup is I feel when the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl, they tend to be the better team. Mm-hmm. They lost to the Patriots. They were better than them.
Yeah.
That's a bad play call and Belichick being Belichick because he beat that play into their heads. The Seahawks never used it. They used it on the final play of the game, and Malcolm Butler remembered. Mm-hmm. And I thought the Seahawks were better in 2005 than the Steelers. So every time they get here, they are supposed to win. The Patriots are now restarting that cycle of like, we might lose here, but we're going to be back.
Sprague asked me the whole, like, the difference between me saying it in college football versus the NFL as far as like it's good to be there. Because in the NFL, when you're talking about like particularly like quarterback play, I think it would be good for Drake May to be there because you do get those chances don't ever come up kind of a deal. Like, and even though I think Seattle's going to smack them, I think it does him good going forward. Does that make sense?
Sure. Who would you put more money on to be back in a Super Bowl, Sam Darnold or Drake May?
This is going to sound crazy, but I'm going to say Darnold.
I don't think that's crazy. I thought I was going to be crazy for saying Drake May.
So
youth, and
I think it shows the kind of difference between us in the sense of you're more mystery boxy, I'm more of proven.
My mystery box is also the second runner, the runner-up in MVP.
No, and again, but he's still very young. Mm-hmm. You know, it's only year 2. Sam's been around a little bit longer, but it's for me, this isn't Sam Darnold doing the thing for a year. This is 2 straight years of him with 14 straight wins or 14 wins in a season. He joined a very small list. The list is him and Brady, and is that it?
I think it's just those two.
It's him and Brady, right? Like when you're doing that 2 years in a row and the numbers back, this wasn't fake numbers. Mm-mm. You know what I mean? Like, and people are like, well, his interceptions are high. I'm like, well, he had 6 in 2 games.
That'll do it.
Like you let's just cut that number in half, and all of a sudden his interceptions look entirely fine.
Throw out the Bucs game too, that they lost, and Sam threw an interception late in that game.
Now, you can't do that, but like people like when you look at whole totals in a year, like, oh, you got a little.
You can't full transitive, but there is some legitimacy to it, just like there is on Drake May's side. Drake had a very, very great year, and I'd love to hear what you were talking about with Mina Kimes, talking about why Drake May should be the MVP, because what's the biggest knock on him? Well, they didn't play anybody.
And that's exactly what she went into.
But he's still very, very efficient, very, very effective. And I think in this league, you know, what they always say, say it in college football too, you can only play the teams that are in front of you. And the Patriots have done that and done well. Now, is this going to be Drew Bledsoe in 96 all over again where they lose, and they lose to a Brett Favre that was inevitable at some point? Maybe. Vrabel's obviously different than Parcells, but fast forward another 5 more years and they were starting to win them.
The argument that Mina was kind of, not attempting to make, the argument she made was, yes, the best defense that the Patriots played this year were the Bills, and they were the 12th overall defense.
Played them twice.
But in those games, May did well. And my vote would be for Stafford.
Me too.
Like, and you can say, well, he had more weapons, all those kind of things.
I would probably vote McCaffrey number 2.
You can make that argument because of all the injuries and everything else around that. But May was incredible this year. He led the NFL in completion percentage. Like, that's not easy to do, and it's not like he's just dinking and dunking. Like, this wasn't Bryce Young, like 5 yards in a cloud of dust type of, check downs. Drake May was driving the ball down the field.
And it might not be fair, but he will always and forever be attached to that quarterback class.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy.
That quarterback class might, in general, though, be pretty
damn good. Pretty damn good. And they'll all be connected.
You could have 4 guys that are...
Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers are still connected to this day. So sometimes that works. And that goes in his favor because I feel... Again, I always said that I thought Bo Nix was the lowest floor, or the highest floor,
lowest ceiling.
But probably the lowest ceiling.
Yeah.
Drake May was the one guy, especially after his first year, I was like...
It was a wide swath.
I do not know what this dude... You can see Caleb's talent. I need the game to slow down for him. I can see Jaden Daniels. Can he stay healthy? Penix, obviously health an issue. JJ, I'm out.
Yeah. And Bo's like...
And Bo is just steady. Yeah, and Drake was the one... I didn't watch a lot of North Carolina. No. I get the size, the arm strength, the metrics of his body.
And he's the outlier in the sense of... What he have 14, 15 college starts? It was a small number of starts.
Not to mention he's got a top 5 pick left tackle who has had a rough postseason and a rough season in general. We both expect him to be better. That's still a lot to overcome. He's throwing the ball to Stephon Diggs. I can't imagine that's an easy relationship to have.
On the field's probably good, but off field,
who knows what you're going to get from that?
Buddy of mine was on the social media team that did that interview in the locker room, the infamous Vikings interview of like, who's the one teammate you wouldn't want your sister to date? And every single one of them said Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
And like he told me, you did not see, it was everyone.
Yeah.
The entire locker room. Diggs. Like and nobody thought about it. So take that for what it's worth.
All right, we come back. A little nugget left over from Media Week. This former player, former high draft pick, renowned bust, has cleaned up his reputation, and then he steps in it. We'll get there next. But first, the Kahuna with sports.
That's that Hawaiian burger joint.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, all eyes around the NBA are on the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo as the trade deadline approaches at noon Pacific. Shams Charania reporting, however, the Milwaukee Bucks will indeed hang on to Giannis. The Warriors seemingly taking themselves out of the running late last night, sending Jonathan Kuminga to the Hawks for Kristaps Porzingis. The Lakers getting some shooting as they've reportedly acquired Luke Kennard from the Hawks in exchange for Gabe Vincent and a second-round pick. The Pelicans sending Jose Alvarado to the Knicks for Dalen Terry, 2 second-round picks and cash. The Trailblazers, meanwhile, quiet since acquiring Vit Krejci on Sunday. They are off until tomorrow night when they host the Memphis Grizzlies. The Blazers 23-28 on the season. That is 10th in the Western Conference. We got the first round of the Waste Management Phoenix Open from TPC Scottsdale. Matt Fitzpatrick, 8 under through 12 holes. He is 2 strokes clear of Chris Gotterup, tied for third at 5 under par. You've got Michael Thorbjornsen, Nikolai Højgaard, and John Vanderlaan. Former Oregon Duck, meanwhile, Wyndham Clark tied for 21st at 1 under par alongside Jordan Spieth and Tom Hoagie. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew Nemec, Thursday evenings at 7 after Isaac and Souk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
We're at 10 Toes Down Thursday here, so make sure you get those in 503-864-6326 or over onto the YouTubes. Questions you have for your sports life, your real life, or our lives that we have to answer unequivocally. No wishy-washy, no fence-sitting, both feet flat on the ground. Talk about male genitalia, probably.
There's no probably about it.
Isaac and Souk are hitting the road for a souped-up show on Friday. Join us for the Tullamore Dew Football Festival from 3 to 7 at Kells Brewery on 21st in Northwest Portland this Friday, February 6th. Get ready for Sunday's big game with primetime at Kells on 21st. Tullamore Dew will have giveaways throughout the show, including tickets to Portland's biggest St. Patrick's Day celebration, the Smoker and Irish Fest. Join us from 3 to 7 for the Tullamore Dew Football Fest at Kells on 21st. Yours truly will be there. I'll come by for a little bit, maybe the first hour or so. I heard Lowercase will be in attendance, so if you want to come say hi to us. Coming up this hour in a minute, we'll get to a little bit of baseball. In hour number deuce, I want to take a peek at them Super Bowl GMs, the unsung heroes or the really appropriately sung heroes. Plus, we'll have web gems that hour. It is an NBA trade deadline. We are keeping our eyes focused on that, as well as the Blazers seem a little quiet right now, but about an hour and a half to go.
Well, they're always quiet.
You don't have to worry about Jonathan Kuminga, though, so we can put that to bed.
Sweet God. I've Blazers fans saying that they would give up a pick for Jonathan Kuminga, and I'm sitting there saying, you wouldn't have to, nor do you want him.
Maybe we'll play, when we talk deadline at noon, maybe we'll play the what's worse purgatory right now, Atlanta or Washington. Feels like there's a lot of misfit toys on both them teams.
I think Atlanta's a good place to be.
Well, Atlanta's a cool
No.
city.
I mean the team.
Oh, okay.
I think they're on the right path. Jalen Johnson's a stud.
Let's see. You are familiar with Ryan Leaf, correct?
I am.
Ryan Leaf, I'm an interesting situation when it comes to Ryan Leaf. He's a Heisman Trophy finalist. Took my squad to a Rose Bowl. Still 3 seconds left on that clock. Obviously a very tumultuous adulthood for him post-college football. But over the last few years, you've seen him on Colin Cowherd. You've seen him on Dan Patrick, on various shows, kind of really cleaning up his reputation. He's called a lot of games on the C-Dub. I heard him on the radio the other day for an NFL game, I think. So he's really coming around. But tensions ran high at Media Row on Wednesday morning when he ran into Dr. David Chow at Radio Row, who was one of the main physicians for the San Diego Chargers when he was there. Chow claims, this is some serious drama. Chow claims that he has seen Ryan Leaf multiple times over the last few years at Super Bowls, and Leaf has never said anything to him. This year, he decides to walk up to him and says, F you, F Ross Tucker, and he got, quote, very aggressive. He claims Chow had some very poor decisions about his treatment when he was hurt as a Charger.
He sued him over it.
Sued him a decade ago over it. His quote was, I'm not making a big deal out of it. I wish the best for Ryan. I'm not sure why over the 10 years here at Radio Row. I've seen him a dozen times. This is the first time he's ever said anything to me. I did not know the side slang at Ross Tucker. What did Ross Tucker do? I know. I'm like reading these articles and I can't see anything. Some of this stems also from some stuff. Here's another quote from Chow. He's been accusing of me, quote, why did you go to Gina Seau's house to convince her not to study Junior's brain? And Chow has responded with, you have the facts wrong. Gina and her oldest daughter came to my house the day after Junior died and asked me for advice on how to get the brain studied, and I got the brain studied at the NIH. I don't know what the NIH is.
National Institute of Health.
There you go. So I find it interesting. I don't know what's going on with Ryan. I feel like I said, he has really kind of fixed his reputation a little bit. What's tough is Ryan Leaf could be right in this situation. He just looks terrible.
I'm going to say something.
Just because of the history.
Sure. I'm going to say something mildly controversial here, maybe to some people. If Ryan Leaf, clearly he still feels aggrieved. That he feels like it was mistreated. You don't sue somebody over how they handled you as a patient unless you feel a certain kind of way. And he certainly feels like that justice wasn't done. And he's certainly still holding on to it. I don't know the facts. Does it look aggressive or improper? Maybe. Could he have used nicer language? But this is still something that's clearly bothering him.
Totally.
Like, you don't... I'll make a comparison, and I've talked about this. Look, like, I have... How do I say this without going too sideways? Neil O'Shea came after my job.
Came after a lot of people's jobs.
Twice. Tried to get me fired.
You're not the only one here at the Fan that's dealt with that.
Got one of them fired.
Yeah.
Got Rob fired. Rob came on my podcast within hours of doing that with me, Ben Golliver, Dave Deckard. And all four of us have Neil O'Shea stories to tell. And if I didn't have leadership that trusted me and told me that nothing I said was wrong, that stood up for me, I would have gotten fired.
Sure.
It's that simple. And for him to try to reach into my pocket made me feel a certain kind of way. And it wasn't really until a couple months ago that I finally found it in my heart to forgive him. I've been holding on to that for almost 10 years.
Sure.
Because I was pissed. Made it so I couldn't go in the building for 2 years. Just made things difficult. All because I said things that he disagreed with. if my surgeon had done something to me in one of my surgeries to where my body was broken or it contributed to my hips failing or something along those lines, I'd whoop his ass.
Yeah, and I hope some of this comes out in kind of defense of Ryan Leaf too. I'm looking at some of the news on Dr. Chow. He is basically being compared to a Dr. Oz level influencer. 2 DUIs, a DEA investigation, accusation he enabled his former partner's prescription drug habit.
Yeah.
What's Ryan Leaf struggled with?
Yeah, which I would imagine that's probably part of what this stems from. And again, I am not taking Ryan Leaf's side.
Sure.
I'm just saying if he feels that way, I can understand why.
Another was decided last summer. Let's see. He had a watchdog, counted 20 lawsuits against Chow since 98. Most of them settled with payouts to plaintiffs. Last summer, he was found liable for negligence and fraud in the case of a 15-year-old girl who had been disfigured in the course of Chow's treatment. Somebody called him Dr. Nick from The Simpsons. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick.
So Chow, again, maybe I am kind of taking the Leaf side in this a little bit. Chow is trying to high road this, but I don't think he's in a position to actually high road this. Does that make sense?
Totally, but he's probably going to get lucky because people on the surface just see, Ryan Leaf blew up on somebody.
Because he's more known.
Weird. I've seen Ryan Leaf blow up on somebody in the past.
And you look at Chow's record, and you're like, oh, this isn't good either. So that's maybe why I look at this and go, there's probably some validity.
Oh, I'm sure there's a ton of it, especially when I read that line about prescription drugs. I'm just like, ding.
Yeah.
My entire brain goes, Ryan Leaf.
So, but some people I think are probably also reacting to this in the sense of like, oh, Ryan Leaf's at it again.
Well, I think that's what I'm saying. That's the lazy argument on that.
And that's where I don't want to say I believe him or that he's right or that he's wrong in how he approached this.
Well, I don't think you should be bleep you, and I don't know what the shade at Ross Tucker is. I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
But it's interesting, and I think a lot of it gets lost in the shuffle too. Look, the NFL is still a place where we really don't like talking about health. You know, you want to talk about Drake May's shoulder? Fine. You want to talk about Jaden Daniels' elbow? Fine. Bo Nix's ankle? Fine. Nobody wants to talk about Junior Seau's head. Nobody wants to talk about Earl Campbell's legs. Nobody wants to talk about the real health concerns in the NFL. And maybe Ryan has decided that he is now in good standing and can call out people that need to be called out and should be staying away from the game. And maybe this Chow guy is one of those. Power to you if you're doing the Lord's work there, buddy.
It's not one of those things where it's like, you know, what's the meme? You know, you've got two people you don't like in the sense of like who's more right, but it's like I would like the Ryan Leaf redemption story to continue.
Me too.
I would like him to be justified in
Me
this.
too. I've enjoyed him calling games and being interviewed on other programs. Like I think he's really coming around. I have my own issues with him from a personal level.
Sure.
You know, I've met the guy a couple times and it's not at the time was not a very pleasant situation to be a part of. But yeah, we all love a redemp.
Look, and the same thing for Chow. Like, because he's got his own skeletons in the closet.
His skeletons look way scarier than just some dude who's a jerk.
Who got addicted to painkillers?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I want to say the biggest part of me wants to be like, there's probably a better way to handle that. But also there's a part of me that, well, wants to rage and kill everyone. Yeah. So, like... let
the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that's been not... This isn't like a slow burn. You know what I mean? Like,
clearly.
This is something that's been... Oh, maybe it is. I guess a slow burn's not the right word. This is not something that came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. This is something that was... You know, he says he's seen him a dozen times. Well, maybe it's a good thing that in those first dozen times he didn't, because he might have knocked you out.
Totally.
This might be the more reserved, better version of it.
Ryan Leaf.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Without a doubt.
Maybe he wanted to, but he knew if he put himself in that circumstance, you are going to end up looking up at him.
Yep, and you're going to go to jail. When we come back, wait, you're going to pay that guy, but not that guy? That's a weird thing. Two guys doing the same job? We're going to have to do something about that. That's next. 105.1 The Fan. Coming up in hour number deuce, we'll take a walk around the Super Bowl again. John Schneider and Elliot Wolf, the respected GMs of each squad, and their importance on these teams. I think you could say that that's a duh statement, but also they're doing some things that maybe is outside of the box of everybody else. We'll get to that in the 11 o'clock hour. Plus, I will ask if you care for kneecaps or 6 inches, which you'd rather have. Weird situation going on in Detroit. We talked about this a couple weeks ago when it came out that Tarek Skubal and the Detroit Tigers were so far apart in arbitration. The Tigers want to give him $19 million. He wants $31 million.
That seems to be a pretty sizable gap.
It is the largest gap in the history of Major League Baseball arbitration. If Tarek Skubal were to win, that would be the largest arbitration case granted to a player in terms of differential money and overall money. If Tarek Skubal is to lose, that is maybe one of the biggest wins and maybe the biggest win in the history of owners, GMs, when it comes to arbitration. Now, without getting too boring about this, arbitration, you have players that are eligible for arbitration for a couple years. You go through a few years of that before they become free agents. Baseball's got a really weird system. You can kind of manipulate all that service time and stuff by bringing guys up certain times, not certain times, sending them back down, etc. I won't bore you with that. Tarek Skubal is asking for probably what is a good deal, honestly, $31 million for the best pitcher in baseball, 2-time Cy Young Award. Ain't bad. Garrett Cole makes more than that. Garrett Cole's a damn good pitcher.
Look, Skubal's the second best pitcher in baseball.
You think second?
I think Skeens is the best.
For my money, I like Skubal.
Again, you can make an argument. I think Skeens clears him clearly for me, but if you want to make the argument, because the stuff Skubal throws when he is dialed, it's pure and unadulterated filth.
Skeens probably has better overalls. Skeens probably has better overall stuff. Skubal goes deeper into games and throws hard.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of.
And when he's dialed, that stuff just dances.
But the more so we're kind of watching that. They met yesterday. Now, when you meet in arbitration, it's the player and the GM. You each get an hour to speak. Then the arbitrator deliberates, comes back with some stuff, and you have some rebuttal time. We should know the answer to that today.
And the part of this where the GM speaks is they go out there and they talk about how the player that they love that is so good is actually trash.
It's not very good. I'm sure they're going to talk about he hasn't had a Tommy John surgery, etc. We're worried about health. His elbow shows this, blah, blah, blah. And it can drive a giant wedge to it. Mike Rizzo was talking about this the other day, former Nationals GM. He goes, it's awful. Because it drives wedges, and you sit there and you're telling a guy,
you empty the clip.
You have to tell a guy we don't like you, but please stay with us.
Yeah.
And what's this
for the least of the most that we can pay you?
And what is this going to do for them long term with Tarek Skubal? He is basically bluffed at any offer of an extension. He wants to test the market. He could be a $40 million pitcher easily. Then comes yesterday, I get a notification on my phone that the Tigers signed Framber Valdez for 3 years, 115. That breaks down to 38.5 a year. Look, I like Framber Valdez a lot. He's a lefty. Not a lot of lefties are as good as Valdez is. I think his ceiling is super high.
But that's a lot of Valdez.
I think he's a huge loss for the Astros not having him. That's a lot of money to spend on one guy for 3 years. It's the largest AAV for a lefty pitcher in Major League history. While you're going to tell Tarek Skubal he's worth 19.
Who can make an argument of being the best player, the best pitcher in baseball.
It's a weird look, and I heard this take yesterday, and it kind of has me thinking they know that they are not re-signing Skubal long term, and they want $19 million because it makes his contract even better to trade.
Yes.
Because that will add one extra prospect because you're not paying 31, you're paying 19 for him. Hello, Dodgers, come on down.
Which the Dodgers would love to do because they've paid everybody else when that salary cap comes in.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's juicy.
It's baseball's a really weird sport when it comes to this stuff, and
you get the guaranteed money, which is nice, but the number of rules that favor teams in the first 7 years of a player's career, which is egregious.
Huge. Which is why
in order to go to arbitration, the crap you have to go through, the clock start manipulation stuff, and the clock start manipulation stuff, it doesn't happen to the guys that are okay players. It happens to the Bryce Harpers. It happens to the Mike
Chris
Trouts.
Bryant. Chris Bryant won Rookie of the Year and a World Series.
Yes. Like, remember Trout? Remember the whole thing about him? I saw him in his first full season with the Angels. Was that 2013, 2014? I can't remember what year it was, because they played with this clock start the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, isn't the whole idea to play your really good players? But they don't do it because they don't want the clock to start, because it starts the clock on that arbitration process. And it's like I get the whole manipulation thing, but like, baseball players are weird. And like, there's the staggering majority of them don't like make it to the pros until they're like 25, 26, 27. Right. You know what I mean? Like, but every now and then you get a kid that comes in at 18, 19, 20.
Aaron Judge didn't show up till he was 26.
You know what I mean? Like,
Juan Soto showed up at 18.
Like, and
19,
so, yeah,
like
and they didn't want his clock to start. Remember the whole thing with the Nationals? They had that whole team that was like, oh no, we have a bunch of young dudes whose clocks are all going to start at the same time.
Now, players do win these cases. Not often, but they do win these cases. Do you know that I believe there's only one team that has never lost an arbitration case?
Who?
Cleveland Guardians.
Oh, really?
Dog S owner, wonderful front office.
Great legal team.
Great front office. The president of the Atlanta Braves and the president of the Toronto Blue Jays both came from Cleveland. How are those programs right now? The Braves have the second best odds to win the World Series this year, and the Blue Jays were Will Smith not stepping on home plate from winning a World Series. Yeah, must be nice. Would be real cool.
Good place to be.
Would be real cool. Yeah, and Bob points out, that's what the Cubs did with Chris Bryant. Drove a huge wedge. They had to trade him to San Francisco. Then he signed that giant deal in Colorado, and he's dead because all of his good years were gone. And that's why you see the new wave of the Ozzie Albies, Alex Bregman's first deal, Fernando Tatis, Acuna, Julio, pay these kids less money than they deserve early because it's still more money than they would make in arbitration. Randy Rosarena just got arbitration.
And now they're happy.
Yeah, Randy Rosarena just got arbitration for $15 million. I think if he hits the open market, he's worth 20.
Yeah. But you just get it done earlier.
Get it done earlier.
We're seeing the same thing in the NBA now. Look at Tu and Shaden's contracts.
Yeah, they got done early.
Got them done early and for less money than everybody thought because of the way the CBA is shaping out. If you pay guys earlier, NFL, the worst teams, what do? They wait until it's the Bengals. They wait until it's too late. And now you're left with no options.
Yeah.
It's better to pay them early.
It is better to pay them early because that's actually when they're going to be good and when it's going to be worth it. And you might get them actually, honestly, cheaper. We come back. Let's slide back into Super Bowl chatter. We'll take a peek at the Seahawks and the Patriots from a general manager standpoint, kind of sliding over from baseball but sticking in the same role. What these two have done, how they did it, and why it is so impressive. Loaded second hour. Don't go anywhere. 105.1 The Fan.
My name is
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on the Fan, all eyes around the NBA on the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo as the trade deadline approaches in just under an hour. Shams Charania, though, reporting the Bucks will hang on to Giannis through the season. Warriors seemingly taking themselves out of the running late last night. They sent Jonathan Kuminga to the Hawks for Kristaps Porzingis. The Lakers getting some shooting as they have reportedly acquired Luke Kennard from the Hawks in exchange for Gabe Vincent and a second-round pick. The Pelicans sending Jose Alvarado to the Knicks for Dalen Terry, 2 second-round picks and cash. The Trailblazers, they've been quiet since acquiring Krejci on Sunday. They are off until tomorrow night when they host the Memphis Grizzlies. Portland 23-28 on the season. That is 10th in the Western Conference. And it's the first round of the Waste Management Phoenix Open from TPC Scottsdale. Matt Fitzpatrick, 8 under through 14 holes on the day. He is 1 stroke clear of Chris Gotterup at 7 under par. Tied for third, Michael Thorbjornsen, Nikolai Højgaard, Pearson Coody, and Jake Knapp. They are all at 5 under par. Meanwhile, Jordan Spieth is at 3 under, and Scotty Scheffler tied for 43rd, all the way back at 1 over par. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, hour number deuce here, the firm of Harris and Meringue. It is a 10 Toes Down Thursday, so get those in, 503-864-6326, the fan text line, or over on the YouTubes. We'll get to that at 12:15. If you missed any of the first hour, you can download that, the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. You missed the sunrise, guys, this morning? Well, you can do that. You can do that on the YouTubes or the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. It is Thursday. I have not seen an updated injury report, but to my knowledge, I believe Isaac Rupp is still a probable for prime time.
More likely to play on Friday. Scoot Henderson or Isaac Rupp?
Ooh, all 10 toes down on Isaac Rupp on that one. I think my man's back in town, ready to get after it for a couple days before Super Bowl. Happy to have him back. That show is fantastic. The two of them, shout out to Nemec for the good job he's done instead. Rewind, fast forward, except for Into the Future. That would be impossible. We will get to some Mike Vrabel audio. And would you rather have Mike Vrabel say this or Dan Campbell say that? Plus, we'll have web gems. It'll be a lot of fun this hour. But let's start, Danny, with some general manager talk of the Super Bowls. And we'll start with the one that I believe deserves to go first, and that's John Schneider. I think John Schneider, what's interesting is we deal with this in Blazerland when it comes to Joe Cronin, and it feels like Joe and maybe Neil to an extent in very different ways have been a little strapped when it comes to Jody being the owner of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very divisive topic, and I don't really know what's true and what's not. So I'm not going to take a shot at Jody by any means, or Cronin or Olshey as well. But it feels like since Paul Allen died, Jody has been wrapped up in this team and gives a perception that we can't do things because of her. That is not the case in Seattle. John Schneider is the only GM in NFL history to have 2 Super Bowl appearances in basically 2 different eras of the same team. And that is massively impressive. And he's done it, as we talked earlier, based on the identity. I got a solid quarterback that doesn't need to be a superstar. I think maybe we were over our skis a little bit on Russell Wilson as his career started to pan out. So I don't know who's better, Russ or Sam. But defense, solid offensive line, and a run game. Kenneth Walker III is not Marshawn Lynch, and Weatherspoon is not Richard Sherman per se. But boy, they got a lot of similarities in their effectiveness and how the team is built.
Yeah, they do in the ownership side of things. And I get accused of carrying water for the Blazers organization. It's not that. I've talked to people at the very tops of the organization, and they have told me things as far as resources, availability, things that Jody Allen has done. And I've talked to people on the Seahawks side of things on the same level who have told me the exact same things. And what Schneider has been able to do, they aren't running a bare bones operation.
They are not.
This whole idea that Jody Allen doesn't spend money is insane. It is insane.
Is it easier to spend money in the NFL than the NBA?
Yes, in a sense.
I think
because,
so.
I mean, the valuations are going to prove that out. One's worth twice what the other one is.
And the level of parity in the NFL is insurmountably higher than the NBA.
And the books in the NFL are, easier to manipulate in a sense, as far as like salary cap and how you move money around, all those kind of things. They don't matter. They do, but they don't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The Blazers have had a roster that has been right at the salary tax level for every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even when they were bad, they were there. They spend money. They went from having...
And you have to spend... We've talked about this with people that want to bitch and whine about Jeremy and Drew's contracts.
You have to spend money.
You have to spend money, and that's what those guys cost, and you might have to pay a little extra to get them into Portland.
Yes, and then there's always a Portland tax. That's been true whether Paul was the owner or Jody's the owner. It doesn't matter. But there's this whole idea of like doesn't spend money anywhere else or da-da-da. They redid the practice facility. They spent another like $4.5 million on property to expand the practice facility. They put a massive cafeteria. We did the weight room. All the renovations at Moda. The scouting department. They had one international scout under Neil Olshey. Yeah, one. They have grown the scouting department. They have grown the basketball operations department. They have grown the analytics department. Like, they spend a ton of money behind the scenes for the Blazers that I know directly. Things that they've done and projects that they've worked on. And the guys that I've talked to on the Seahawks side of things tell me the exact same thing. So this isn't to say that Jody's the best owner, but this idea that like they're the Brown family and they're just pinching every penny, it's factually untrue.
And it's proven by John Schneider.
Yes.
He's able to go spend money. Look, there's a lot of people that didn't, and they're playing revisionist history right now. I don't know if I was one of them. I don't think so, but we'd have to check the tape. There's a lot of people that when Sam Darnold was signed in Seattle, that they were like, wow, a more expensive Geno Smith, pass. And that turned out to be incorrect. There was money spent and a giant risk taken. And kudos to John Schneider for finding it. Getting DeMarcus Lawrence and drafting Witherspoon, what was he, 4th overall? Something like that. Taking big swings on guys and them all kind of working. Kenneth Walker, for a couple years, I was like, because he was highlight reel at Michigan State at times. He had that kind of what's his name, the Steelers kid who went to Michigan State, sat out a year.
Oh,
in the NFL.
Le'Veon
Bell.
Yeah,
same kind of situation. You were just like, whoa, human highlight reel at a running back at Michigan State. Came into the NFL, and you're kind of like, I don't know if I like this. Look at him this year. Him and Charbonnet have been awesome together, and he's built that from basically scratch. You were strapped in the Russell Wilson deal.
You draft DK, you draft Jackson, like
but then you had to ship out DK, but you had to ship out Geno Smith, and fire Pete Carroll.
But what did he do? He did the things. And now, like, the Seahawks did kind of fall off for a little bit, but they didn't bottom out. They weren't the worst team in football.
No, and he found himself the young up and coming coach,
and he found a redemption level quarterback. Is this ringing a bell, Geno Smith? Like. They just did the thing again.
They did it with Geno, and they're doing it with Sam Darnold right now. And I think you've hammered this so much, and might be where Schneider should get the most credit. Two things. One, as we just mentioned, being able to punt on things you were wrong. You gave Russ a giant extension. You were like, whoops, my bad. Got a king's ransom out of Denver for it. DK Metcalf, whoops, I'm wrong. Let's get him out of here. Geno, ran the course on that. Let's get him out of here. The number one thing, though, is he went the opposite direction of what everybody else in the NFL is. Everyone's looking for a Shanahan and McVay.
He said, "Look at my division. What do I have to go against? Can I find two better offense? Can I find an offensive-minded coach better than McVay or Shanahan?" The answer is no.
No. And Arizona hires a LaFleur because they're chasing that carrot too.
They said, "We're going to go the other side of this coin. How do we win a Super Bowl? By
stopping those guys.
We beat the hell out of people. Let's go do that. Let's go get a defensive-minded coach that schemes out of his mind, knows how to put players in the right positions, and, Eamon Warry, for my money, should win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I know he missed some games, Brother, that dude can flat out ball.
I know, and let's hope he's healthy because I saw him limp into the hotel room last night. You got to think he's going to be ready to go. There wasn't a boot. There wasn't a crutch or anything like that.
Shots exist.
Shots do exist. Ask Brett Favre.
Off-season surgeries exist.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
And that's what it is. There's guys riddled all over the defense. And look, we talked about this a little bit with the Oregon Ducks throughout the year.
There's not a dude, but there's
a lot of guys.
There's a lot of guys, and there's no weak link. You're not looking.
There really isn't.
You don't look at you can say Reek because him being a bit of a head case.
Sure,
but he's still a guy.
Dude, he ain't a head case like Richard Sherman was. You've dealt with that. Yeah. You can handle
or the worst case scenario, Brandon Browner.
Yeah, you can handle that. Percy Harvin,
actually,
Jamal Adams.
Not worst case scenario, Earl Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can handle that.
You can handle a level of crazy when the talent's there. And with Reek, it is there.
Let's flip this on its head and slide over the New England Patriots with Elliott Wolf, their GM, and the job he's done over there. Similar but also different, and I think sometimes changing how you did things is the best for you, and this might prove why you shouldn't let coaches have all the control. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan. Well, what do you think the Clippers are doing?
I don't know because they don't control their pick.
Yeah.
The Thunder control their pick.
So sucking is not in their best advantage.
I don't understand it because they've now traded away James Harden, and this was talked about last night. I heard that it might happen, but I didn't think the Pacers would up the ante necessary to get Zubac. And I still have yet to see what draft capital came in for Zubac.
It can't be this year's first pick.
No, but the Pacers.
You would assume there's going to be a first rounder in there.
The Clippers are. They were demanding like multiple firsts
Sure.
for Zoo.
And if you're the Pacers, real quick, and we'll get to the Patriots. But if you're the Pacers, this is what I've kind of said as a kind of adjacent fan of the Pacers. Look, you need to suck this year and get yourself a high draft pick. See if you can get a top 3 and grab one of those kids for Hallie when he comes back next year. And Zubac there makes this team pretty good when they come back. I think they'll compete in the East right away when Hallie comes back. And if to get a player of this caliber, you can send some future first-round picks that are going to be down at the bottom of the first round, have them. Now, I don't have an issue with the Harden move for Darius Garland. I know there's issues with Garland's feet. I get that. I would rather take a flyer on Darius Garland's future than James Harden's.
Oh, God.
Personally.
Future? Yes.
So I don't really mind that trade at all. This one, though, I don't think you can move Kawhi. Plus, I doubt he wants to be moved. So yeah, I don't know what they're doing either.
I am trying to figure out.
Maybe they secretly want the Thunder to get even more loaded.
Well, I don't want to say a conspiracy, but there's a conspiracy to the conspiracy. It's everything around the Clippers, Ballmer, Kawhi. Mm-hmm. That part of the reason why they may be just going, we're going to go ahead and get out of this is to lower the spotlight.
Sure.
Because they're going to get hammered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I would be like, well, then why don't you go all in right now if you're going to get hammered? Like if you're going to get black soxed, you know what I mean? Like it might
the Astros
be
are going to cheat their face off. You might as well do it.
You might as well, you know what I mean? Like just go for it kind of a deal. But there are some people that believe that the reason Harden pivoted and the reason the Clippers are pivoting out of Zoo is that they might get out of this and Kawhi might be next. Now, I don't know how much I believe that, considering how many things the Clippers manipulated to do that.
Sure.
But I would say people that I trust who aren't normal tinfoil hat people have thrown this idea out there.
I love the concept, too, of Indiana making a pretty big move, striking while the iron's hot for next year.
Oh, Scuba won his arbitration. 32 million.
Tarek Skubal won his arbitration?
He will make $32 million from Jeff Passan. Just happened. It's the largest salary ever paid off in the arbitration. He'll make $13 million more than the Tigers.
Whoa, good on him.
Wow.
Good on him.
Wow.
Okay, I'll stay in Detroit.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is,
that was
no, you're good. Thank you for
surprise.
telling me. I was waiting for that to come down today. I knew it was coming down today. I do like that the Pacers are seeing what the league probably knows too, that something's going on with the Clippers. This is not a move for them to win this year.
No.
They're one of the worst teams in basketball.
They are going to suck on purpose, but they obviously Miles Turner goes to Milwaukee.
That's a big loss for them.
It is. But now, what better kind of big to play with Tyrese Halliburton than a rim-running big who doesn't need the ball?
And maybe the NBA rigs it in your favor and you get a top 3 pick.
I
don't.
No.
I don't believe in the rigging.
No. I'm saying I hope they do.
I hope they do.
I hope AJ DeBonsa or Darren Peterson or Cam Boozer end up a Pacer.
Hell yeah.
I genuinely, because they've never had that player.
My Pacers.
They've never, as great as Reggie was, he's not a top 3 pick.
No, he's not. But Reggie's a top 75 player.
No. I'm not arguing that. Like, they have never had a draft pick where you went, yup, on the day they were drafted.
Right. They even hated that they took Reggie because they all wanted Hurley.
Mm-hmm. And then there's Danny Granger was 13th.
Oh, yeah. I had such high hopes for Danny Granger.
I mean, again, like Paul George, injuries. Mm-hmm. Granger was a monster before he got hurt.
And where'd Paul George get drafted? Late first?
11th.
Okay.
I think he was 11th. He was a lottery pick, if I remember right. But, like they've never picked there. They have never picked there.
Small market team improving at the deadline with an eye on their future. Good on Indy. That comes from a guy on YouTube. Yeah, there's a lot of Blazer parallels to that. We'll get to in the noon hour. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's just sit back for the next 40 minutes.
You have Donovan Clingan.
And see how this goes. Well, it's not about Zubac. It's about just a pick that's not necessary, a trade that's not necessarily for this year, but striking while people are trying to sell. We'll get to that at noon.
Mm-hmm.
Danny's so excited. Danny's so excited. He's like looking at the clock. He's like, oh, God. But I did want to finish up this GM conversation for the Super Bowl and bringing it over to the Patriots side with Elliot Wolf, who's the GM. First things first, hey, guys, guess what? Head coaches being in charge of personnel, I don't always think is a good idea. Here you are, 2 years removed from Bill Belichick. You got a real adult in the room that actually does this for a living, and the Patriots are in the Super Bowl. It starts with realizing that the Gerard Mayo experiment was a terrible experiment, and I'm out. And let's go get the dude that everybody knows is a dude that we know he'll want to come back here. Let's go get the dude. Hey, we've got a top 5 pick. All right, let's stop with this Jacoby Brissett and Matt Castle and Jimmy Garoppolo. Mm-hmm. Let's go get a quarterback in Drake May.
It also happens that class was that class.
Totally. There is a lot of fortune to all of this, even with John Schneider and the Hawks, dude. There's a lot of, Lawrence wants out and he comes to Seattle. That's a nice get. Okay, JSN being a top 3 receiver in the NFL, that's a nice get. Sam Darnold not seeing ghosts in the play. There are benefits that go this way. What do you do the next year? Boom, I'll take Will Campbell. I'll take the best offensive lineman on the board. He struggled this year, yeah, but we expect him to be good. It's amazing what happens when you actually focus on the things that your schemes and your play calling can mask. Because look at early Tom. Early Tom was masked by a great offensive mind in Charlie Weiss and an all-time defense, okay? And it wasn't until Tom got older with weapons when he really exploded in Josh McDaniels. Let's actually get an adult in the room here and actually build this roster the way it's supposed to. And that's what he's done.
And there's this propensity now to chase the Signetti. Like, do it now. It's almost added more pressure.
We talked about that yesterday. Yeah. The pressure to win right now is insane, more so than it's ever been.
And people want to pretend like we joke, the Patriots didn't suck for long enough. Yeah, but they were really bad. Mm-hmm. That's how you end up with a number 3 overall pick. You suck. You suck something fierce. To get a top 3 pick in the NFL, you are a trash can. Like, that's what happens.
And in so many sports, God, baseball's the worst at this. People are okay with sucking for a little bit and the rebuild. I've always really wanted something that drives me crazy about a lot of my teams is my teams will stay in mediocrity before really tearing it all down. And there's something romantic to me. You know this about me. There's something romantic to me of tearing it all down.
Oh, yeah.
And let's start from scratch.
I've always said,
I'm jealous of Astro fans that got to watch that.
If you are not building up, you should be tearing down.
Right.
People talk about mediocrity. The Blazers have been mediocre for so long. No, they weren't. They were a trash can. They were not good.
Clippers are receiving the 2026 first-round pick from the Pacers, protected 1 through 4.
Ooh, buddy, that's how they got Zoo.
And 10 to 30, plus a 29 Pacers unprotected first-rounder.
So was it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
Look, that tells you everything you need to know about this upcoming NBA draft.
1 through 4.
1 through 4. 1 through 4. 5 through 9, I don't care about. 10 through 30, a lot of hidden gems in there. But 1 through 4, you cannot have from me. Boom. Go watch college basketball. Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, 2 firsts and 1 second. For Zubac.
2 more firsts?
It's this first protected, okay. 1 through 4 and 10 for 30. At least this is what YouTube's telling me. I haven't quite seen it, but that's what these guys are telling me. And I trust y'all.
Okay, there it is. I've got it from Fisher. So that pick, the first pick going to the Clippers is the Pacers' unprotected first-round pick in 2029. Unprotected in 29. Unprotected.
But in 29, you're thinking, who cares?
Yeah.
That's number 26.
Let's say things work out and you get a top 4 pick this year and you get one of AJ, Darren, Cam. So you've got Hallie.
I don't love sending Mathurin.
It's fine. They were looking to move him out.
I liked him.
He's fine, but they were looking to move him.
High upside.
Upside. I'll go that far.
Mystery box.
Yeah, I'll go that far. I liked him coming out, but he's a little surly. Canadian. Just
He's such a hater.
find me a Canadian that's not weird. Find me a Canadian in the NBA that's not a weird dude. One.
I'm going to find one someday.
You won't. They don't exist. They're all weird.
I'm going to find one someday.
The other pick in this is the Pacers 2026 first-round pick, protected 1 through 4 and 10 through 30. So Clippers get 5 through 9. If the pick falls outside of that range, it converts to a 2031 unprotected first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wonder.
So they could get.
You can't tell me you got them for one first rounder if they land a top 4 pick.
And that's what I was wondering what the conversion was. So because of the step-in rule, you have to be every other year. So in theory, they could have 29 and 31 unprotected.
But what do those look like for the Pacers? They could be competing for Eastern Conference.
And here's the
titles.
thing about the Pacers. You know what they never do? Bottom out.
This is the bottom out.
This is going to be probably the worst record they've ever had this year. And if you think that they're going to bottom out now because they're going to want the highest. This is going to be a generational tank, not just by the Pacers, but by probably 8 different teams.
Peterson, Halley, Zubac, not a bad little team. Siakam. Why do I always forget the great Pascal Siakam?
Spicy P, baby.
That's a good little lineup.
We saw what they did last year
with less.
You add a dude into that.
I like Miles Turner a lot.
I do too.
I think Milwaukee overpaid for him, but they had to.
It'll be interesting to see what the spacing looks like with Zoo, but I'm very intrigued by this team.
Let's have a little fun with audio here on head coaches, and these are the type of guys that can run your program, and things might be nice. A little bit left over from Super Bowls with Mike Vrabel. We'll go there next. But first, Rusty, the kahuna over there with sports.
You ever had a big kahuna burger?
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the NBA trade deadline approaching in just about 30 minutes from now. All eyes were on the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo, but Shams Charania poo-pooing that this morning, reporting Milwaukee will hang on to Giannis. The Lakers getting some shooting as they've reportedly acquired Luke Kennard from the Hawks in exchange for Gabe Vincent and a second-round pick. The Pelicans sending Jose Alvarado to the Knicks for Dalen Terry, 2 second-round picks and cash. The 76ers trading Eric Gordon and a second-round pick swap to the Grizzlies, and the Clippers sending Ivica Zubac and Kobe Brown to the Pacers for Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, multiple first-round picks, and a second-rounder. The Trailblazers, meanwhile, they've been quiet since acquiring Vit Krejci on Sunday. They're off until tomorrow night when they host the Memphis Grizzlies. Blazers 23-28, 10th in the Western Conference. First round of the Waste Management Phoenix Open from TPC Scottsdale, and you've got Matt Fitzpatrick and Chris Gotterup now tied at the top of the leaderboard at 8 under par. They are both through 16. Elsewhere, you got Jordan Spieth. He is tied for 10th at 3 under par. Sepp Straka, Tom Hoagie at 1 under. Wyndham Clark, Scotty Scheffler, they are tied for 49th at 1 over par. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Watching snowboard big air right now. Oh boy. Woo! Just get dizzy looking at him. Snowboarding, one of the better events ever to be added to Olympics. You know, I remember when they first.
Remember the controversy around it?
Yeah,
You can't do that. The skiers, the pretentious downhills, you can't throw that. More people watch snowboarding than watch skiing.
Yeah, it was just like, no, snowboarding, that's for like bros, man.
Yeah, it is.
Shred the gnar. And then I'm watching these bros do some stuff that is super sick. I imagine that culture is not a fun culture to be around, a bunch of Trustafarians. But hey, man, if I'm 16 years old and get to drop out of school and smoke weed and spin 360s in the snow all day, every day, probably turn into a D too.
It happens.
Speaking of D's, Mike Vrabel, he's been a pretty funny dude. I can't help but just laugh at the dude. We've kind of talked about your head coaching route, how much we love Mike Macdonald in Seattle for being the answer to Shanahan and McVay and not chasing Shanahan and McVay. This guy was very much that in Detroit.
And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
That turned out to be correct. Obviously, he lost his coordinators, and they took a little bit of a step back this year, so we'll see how that goes. But let's see. Mike Vrabel was on Bussin' with the Boys, and he has been known to say that he would give up a certain appendage to win a Super Bowl. Well, he was asked on Bussin' with the Boys about that very same thing, and this is what he had to say.
How many times have you been asked this week about that?
Just a couple. I mean, somebody asked me in Boston.
Yeah? What was your answer to them?
I mean, I'd probably cut it in half.
Okay.
Leave her 6.
Mike Vrabel, if that's your situation, good on you, buddy. Good on you. He also went on to talk about how he's been married to his wife for 20 years, and then he said to him, after 20 years, you don't need the whole thing.
Yeah. I dropped a line once when I was younger, and it hit. It was something along the lines of, give him all 10 inches, and I said, I'm not folding that in half for anybody. It's same vibes.
Yeah.
Same vibes. I like that.
I like it too. I love that Mike Vrabel has really leaned into all this.
Lean into who you are.
Yeah. And I kind of wish... I understand why they didn't. And I don't want to take away from Belichick by any means, but I kind of wish we saw more of this in his run as a Patriot. Because if this is how he is now, this is how he's always been. So I wish I could have seen that side of players in the Patriot era. You know, Tom Brady's getting drugged through the coals right now for saying he doesn't have a dog in the fight. And Vince Wilfork and Gronk and Asante Samuel are all calling him BS. Tell him you're playing the political route.
Well,
I thought we were Patriots for life.
Well, who is he a partial owner of?
The Raiders.
Who do the Raiders hate?
The Seahawks.
No.
They hate everybody, dude.
No.
Dude, they were division rivals with the Seahawks for decades.
I'm telling you right now, we do not,
Oh,
have not ever cared about the Seahawks.
You still hating on the Tuck rule there?
Yeah, the thing that cost us a Super Bowl, yes!
Well, you went back the next year.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. No
You
idea.
weren't there?
No recollection of that game.
You weren't there when Rich Gannon won an MVP?
God, so painful. But no, we never cared about the Seahawks. Ever cared about the Seahawks.
Well, it's funny. Growing up, my dad was a Seahawk fan, and I was around a lot of Seahawk fans, and they all hated the Raiders.
I mean, sure.
Raiders, Broncos, and then the Chargers were like my Royals.
Well,
where I'm just like, I don't hate the Royals. They're cool. Go for them.
I see the Chargers I never hated, but the Broncos and Chiefs.
The Chiefs are the other one.
The three teams that I have hated the most in my lifetime are the Broncos, Chiefs, and Patriots. It's not close.
And the Patriots,
in the NFL.
just because of the Tuck rule.
Yeah, it cost us a Super Bowl.
You think you would have won that Super Bowl?
100%. They're the best team in football that year.
Played the Rams. That was Patriots-Rams, 2001. Yeah. 9/11, though, dude. I got to have the Patriots in.
I don't care.
Like I was saying, I really wish I could have seen a lot more of this kind of verbose attitude from these Patriots guys.
Well,
when they were
Belichick
winning Super
tampered all
Bowls.
that down.
Oh, for sure. And
Didn't allow it to happen.
Keeps you focused, and you win a bunch of games.
I don't know how much I buy that. There's
No.
plenty of teams that have been loud, obnoxious. The Seahawks. The Legion of Boom. They all talked.
Oh.
Pete let them talk.
Sorry-ass receiver.
Yeah, they all let him talk because they backed it up.
To be fair, Michael Crabtree was kind of a sorry-ass receiver.
I mean, look, and a big part of that's Pete because Pete let those USC teams talk
boy.
endlessly.
Pete is the most rah-rah NFL guy I've ever seen in my life. You think Vrabel and Dan Campbell, they're here because Pete. Pete, not so much when he was younger.
Yeah.
But post USC Pete Carroll when he was in Seattle, oh, baby.
Yeah.
Run your mouth.
You back it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's running up and down the sidelines. Yeah.
Look, to be honest, I want more of that. I don't like Belichick coach. I don't like Greg Popovich with a mic on in front of him. Wanted to punch him in the face. The second he stepped up the stage, one of my favorite coaches ever, ever talked to. The number of times when the Spurs would come to town, I'd catch Pop in the hallway. I was like a kid at Christmas because I knew I was about to get some wisdom. It was going to be good.
Yeah.
He was fun. He was, dude, I wish fans got to see Pop off mic like everybody else got to. Just so great. Now, see, the difference is with Belichick, I don't think Belichick off mic was that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Pop ran things like that, and nobody talked. Now, a big part of that was Timmy.
Sure.
Timmy didn't.
He just wasn't that guy.
Now, off the mic, Timmy's funny dude. But that it trickles down from the top.
Sure.
Which is why I love coaches. Like, I love Dan Campbell. I love Vrabel. I love D'Amico Ryans. Like, those are the kind of coaches that I want to play. I'm not saying I wouldn't play for who's a quieter.
Mike McDonald's pretty quiet.
Yeah, he's pretty quiet. Although
he might let loose.
He's got a little juice.
Super Bowl media row. He has definitely loosened up a little bit.
Ben Johnson's got a little swag to him.
Totally.
Like
he hates the Packers.
I mean, hell, Andy Reid's got some swag to him in a different way.
Yeah.
He lets it go.
The walrus.
You know, and his 6 cheese macaroni. Like, you know, there's
traded cheesesteaks for barbecue.
Yeah, like Sirianni, not my jam.
No, but he's got juice.
Yeah, but not.
There is certain levels of juice.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
But like, bad coach, no. But is he on the front of like the list of guys that I'd want to play for? No. Give me the dude who wants to bite kneecaps. Give me the dude who headbutts his players with his helmet with their helmets on.
Usually, anybody that talks size, I'm kind of out on because I assume that it's not really backing it up. Vrabel, reliever 6.
Hog.
I'll give it to you. It's called The Big One. The Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show, presented by Loophole, returns to the Portland Expo Center Wednesday, February 11th through Sunday the 15th at the Portland Expo Center. Enter to win a family 4-pack of tickets right now at 1051thefan.com. 15 more minutes until the trade deadline hits. I don't know if anything's going to happen.
We'll see.
Can Kawhi go on the move? Is that the big banger at the end? We got Web Gems next, and then we'll wrap up trade deadline and the big nooner. It's a 10 Toes Down Thursday as well. Get those in 503-864-6326 or the YouTube chat. We can blazer 10 Toes too if you guys want. It's up to you, not me. You're in charge. Portland Sports Leader 105.1 FM, 1080 AM.
Sometimes it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
No, son of a...
It's Web Gems,
What'd you do?
the firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right, this Web Gems, everybody's favorite. Do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the Big Nooner, we have 10 Toes Down at 12:15, 12:30. You send them in, 503-864-6326. Questions that Danny and I have to answer unequivocally. No wishy-washy. No half and half. No fence sitting. All 10 toes, 2 feet firm on the ground on opinions. You want to throw in some Blazer stuff? Go for it. I might look through the text line and just find Blazer stuff to go through it, because also the noon deadline is about to hit, 3 p.m. Eastern of the trade deadline in the NBA. I'm looking at my clock right now, 12 minutes away. It's awful quiet. Awful quiet.
We'll see.
So we'll see how that goes. But Web Gems today is brought to you by the state of Michigan in college basketball. Now, did you watch that Michigan State-Michigan game, Danny? A couple days ago, week ago, last weekend, I think. Michigan State kind of got throttled there pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely some lack of effort, some lack of intensity, which led Carson Cooper to say this about playing their next game against Minnesota.
I don't want to, I hate being too cocky, but I kind of feel bad for Minnesota, because I feel like the intensity we're going to have leading up to this is going to be, elite, and I feel like we're going to have a long film session, really do a deep dive, and
I feel bad for them, because we gonna smack them. Well, that's not really what went down last night. In fact, I would argue not only was Cooper trash, who had 0 points in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull this up. 20 minutes, 0 points, 0 for 3, had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and a turnover. For a starter big man that's going to run his mouth like that, not a great look, as they lost 73-76 to Minnesota. And were basically boat raced the entire game. Michigan State tried to come back, but Minnesota smacked him in the face.
Michigan State scored
in the first half.
20 in the first half. It was
yes.
Brutal. They had nothing going. And do we have Izzo in the postgame?
I don't.
You know what happened, right?
No, I didn't see it.
So,
well, I've read about the Jeremy Fears
That's
stuff.
where I was going to go with this. Jeremiah Fears' brother.
Who's a great player.
He's an NBA prospect. There's no doubt about it.
And he's just fun to watch.
But he also channeled his inner Michigan State brethren, Draymond Green, on a foul, and that leg kick extended in between and gave some of the old nut tap.
There were 3 moments that I saw someone put a package together that I saw on my timeline of 3 different moments where he is like throwing his body on the line, quote unquote, hits the deck, and then his leg just kind of starts to wander around somebody. And you're right. Izzo did say after in the post game that he's got to grow up, and he is threatening benching him.
Yeah, like for Izzo. So people always they want players to be honest, they want coaches to be honest. For Izzo to say that publicly, that's not a small thing. This is a long-time Hall of Fame. He knows the game. To go out publicly and basically say he's out of pocket, I'm gonna bench his ass. For that's crossing some lines, because number one, they should have absolutely demolished Minnesota, and they came
without
out.
a doubt. Minnesota's not good.
Cooper said that, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're going to do that," and then they didn't show up. And Minnesota said, "All right, bet we'll handle you."
Yeah, and that's kind of where a lot of, and maybe that's some hidden NIL stuff, but that's a lot of what makes college coaching really, really tough. And to have sustained success like a Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, Dabo, what Lanning's trying to do down at Oregon. Flip that over into college basketball, There's a reason Roy Will and Coach K don't do this anymore. Boeheim's out too. We thought Izzo would not be far behind, but he seems to have started to embrace it a little bit more. The wheels are falling off quickly at Michigan State. Okay, you lost to Michigan. That's a tough route. They might be the best team in the nation. You had some issues. You could have easily, to Cooper's defense, looked at the play, looked at the scheme, looked at your level intensity, and gone back to work. But instead, your reaction is to go out and do that? That's where coaching, especially in basketball, I think becomes really, really difficult in college. Because now you've got guys that are checked out. And even if an Izzo can't get you up, I don't know who is.
I don't know if it's necessarily checking out, but it's this is certainly something that you're going to have to battle now. But this is something that they've always had to battle. It's not like these guys weren't getting paid before. but it's also there's some entitlement stuff, and for Cooper, like again, I like that Cooper said that because it draws a line in the sand.
Sure, I loved it too. When I heard that, I was like, well, I also knew Minnesota wasn't very good, but I love that concept. We're gonna go watch tape. We're gonna figure this out. And he acknowledged, I don't like being cocky, but we gonna bring it. And you didn't.
And so you do that in where do you learn most? Is it in success or failure?
Failure.
I'll give your Zags a little bit of leeway here. The idea of you'd rather have this happen now than in March. You know what I mean?
Oh, without a doubt right now. We were laughing this morning. University of Portland takes down Gonzaga last night.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it now. Without a doubt.
As long as you
22.5 point spread and you lose on the road like that, playing the way you did.
20 plus years straight.
Now, UP was very, very good last night. Gonzaga has no business losing that game. But I'd rather you lose now. Learn from it.
That's the thing. It's one thing to lose. Learn from it.
Learn from it.
You have an opportunity. Take it. And I think that's what Izzo's trying to do here. You have an opportunity. Take it.
Let's have some fun with some of that Zags pilot stuff, huh? This is the Jimbo dunk called by one Jason Swigard.
Foxwell throws it forward. Pilots beat him down. Jimbo O'Donnell with the dunk. 26.5. St. Superi hits Smith. Back to Superi for three. No. Knuckles the rebound. Pilots running out. Foul. Garrett Knuckles with 2 free throws could ice it.
And the final call as University of Portland defeats the Gonzaga Bulldogs up on the bluff line at the Chiles Center.
And there is no bluffing from Portland here tonight.
Such a good
Gonzaga
line.
calls off the Dogs. And for the second time this season, Gonzaga goes home a loser. The Portland Pilots, for the first time in 12 years, knock off Gonzaga, ending a 20-game losing streak. Your final score, Portland 87, Gonzaga 80.
No bluffing here.
I wonder how long you've been sitting on that.
Swag.
I wonder how long you've been sitting on that. Was that off the dome, Swag?
Oh,
was that
that's
off the
so
dome?
good. Oh, I love it. I love it. Is it better than...
Here's the situation.
No. Here's the situation was fantastic.
Yeah, dude. I mean...
It's over, we think.
Like, that's an all-time Swigard.
The reactions that we had here live were just... Dusty and I were running around like, it's over. We think we both stopped. We're like, what?
Yeah, they're iconic lines.
Those are bangers.
I mean, it could be day one entry into the Fan Hall of Fame.
Oh, 100%.
Day one entry.
That's a first ballot.
Yeah.
First ballot.
4 minutes away, my friends, till the trade deadline.
TikTok.
We'll get right at it at the top of the Big Nooners. Stick with us. One final hour to go. Will the Blazers do anything about this? There's also 10 Toes Down. Get some of those in. They can be Blazer related if you want. And I might just pull some and we'll do a 10 Toes Down Blazer edition. Also, Super Bowl parties. What to eat. What to bring. Who you like. What you got. Bad Bunny. Let's go. 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys into whom you can place your trust. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today, online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on the Fan, well, the trade deadline is upon us. The biggest news so far was the moves that didn't happen. Giannis Antetokounmpo remaining in Milwaukee as a Buck. The Lakers getting some shooting as they have reportedly acquired Luke Kennard from the Hawks in exchange for Gabe Vincent and a second-round pick. The Pelicans sending Jose Alvarado to the Knicks for Dalen Terry, 2 second-round picks and cash. The 76ers trading Eric Gordon and a second-round pick swap to the Grizzlies. The Clippers sending Ivica Zubac and Kobe Brown to the Pacers for Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, multiple first-rounders, and a second-rounder. The Hornets trading Tyus Jones to the Mavericks for Malachi Branham. Meanwhile, the Trailblazers, quiet so far since acquiring Vit Krejci on Sunday. They are off until tomorrow night when they host the Memphis Grizzlies. Blazers are 23-28 on the season. That is 10th in the Western Conference. And we got the first round of the Waste Management Phoenix Open from TPC Scottsdale. Chris Gotterup, 8 under through 17 holes. He is 2 strokes clear of Matt Fitzpatrick. He bogeyed his final 2 holes of the day to fall back to 6 under par. Meanwhile, you got Jordan Spieth tied for 10th at 3 under. Tom Hoagie, Xander Schauffele tied for 24th at 1 under par. And Scotty Scheffler tied for 76th. He is 2 over through 17. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Two down, 1 to go here. Portland Sports Leader, the firm of Harris and Meringue. We do this every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. After us, we'll toss it over to Duck Insider from 1 to 2. The Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson from 2 to 3. And then it's prime time from 3 to 7 to take you all the way home, finishing up 13 hours of live, local, regional sports talk radio. Bonus hour tonight, right? It's Thursday. Recruiting with Andrew Nemick. Check that out from 7 to 8 as well. Starting next week, you will get Timbers Fan on Tuesdays from 7 to 8 as well. A little extra shoulder programming. Myself and Jake Zivin will be talking Timbers. That'll get podcasted out if you don't catch it live, whatever you like. It is a 10 Toes Down Thursday. We'll get to that in about 15 minutes here. Take any of your questions that you need unequivocal answers. 10 Toes Down from Danny and I. We'll get to those, and I'm going to read some Blazers stuff just because I can. And we want to. The trade deadline has passed. All quiet on the Western Front. What's more surprising to you, Danny, that there isn't something come across league-wide, or that the Blazers' only move is for Vit Krejci?
I don't think it's surprising that was the only move. I think what they were looking at was something that I said endlessly, the summer. There was a deal that I heard about last night that, from who I've heard it from multiple people, was very big. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think it would get done. So I thought it would go to the summer because this front office does transactions in the summer.
Yeah, I guess I'm curious about kind of the city Caleb Love aspect of it, the Time Lord aspect of it.
They have avenues to do that.
Yeah, I know, but I think more the Robert Williams III aspect, because he will walk at the end of the year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And for a team that might have play-in aspirations, but definitely not title aspirations, please don't at me on that. Moving Rob Will for something I think could have been a very easy situation that would have given you something in return than letting him walk for no reason.
Does trading him for a second-round pick matter?
I think it's better than somebody walking for free in a team in a year you're not competing. I would argue that.
I don't think it is.
You think
because
they're equal?
No.
Second round picks are pretty tough.
I just don't care. But it's more equity. Then go spend money and buy them.
Go spend money and buy what?
A second round pick.
Yeah.
If you want a second round pick, go buy it. It's that simple. It's that simple.
So then what is the benefit by not, so to say, moving Matisse Thybulle or Robert Will? You know, the not moving Jeremy Grant, Shaden Sharp, Scoot Henderson, Drew Holiday, fill in the blank of any of those starters. I don't have a lot to say about that. I am more curious about some of the expendable stuff that looks to not have been part of the equation and are just going to be left empty. I think that's what Blazer fans struggle with.
No, I think Blazers fans struggle a lot more than that because they have shiny toy syndrome.
Well, what's wrong with wanting shiny toy syndrome?
Because
we went through this. We went through this like 2 weeks ago. That you
just
got to
want
have a superstar to make something happen.
Yeah, it's the whole idea, and that's my point. People are like, "Well, somebody texted in like, why didn't they go get Chris Boucher?" Like, what? what? I don't care that he played at Oregon. I don't care. No, it's just none of it makes any sense.
Well, I think some of it, though, to be fair to
there's no to be fair about Chris Boucher though.
It wasn't Chris Boucher. I think what it is there is an idea of some things that exist that will cease to exist that should be easy things to move to feel better. That doesn't mean adding in small pieces like a Boucher or even a Vít Krejci to that matter. I think that there is an honest thought of like, we have things that people want that we are not going to have in the future. So why not try to get something for it?
Because the something doesn't matter in the long run.
But we also talked about this being a big kind of situation for Cronin and his crew with the new ownership coming in, that by doing nothing, now we don't know, that could have come down from Dundon of saying like, hold pat guys, I like what you're doing. Let's not get crazy.
Let's keep all the powder dry till the summer when you guys have done big deals.
But we don't know that. And I think that is where Blazer fans struggle. And I get that. I'm okay with them struggling for that. It's not necessarily that you need a shiny toy, but it's trying to understand how the team values what they have versus what they don't have.
Not having a second-round pick doesn't matter. Matisse Thybulle has been consistently injured. You're not getting anything from him other than like the Maurice Harkless top 55 protected second-round pick. That doesn't matter.
But doesn't shipping him out or buying him out figure out that kind of City Sissoko Caleb Love?
Yeah, that you can still buy him out.
Yeah. What are the avenues for
you
them?
can buy him out.
What are the other avenues for Caleb Love and City Sissoko, given the fact that nobody has moved out to open up roster space?
You have to buy guys out.
And who would be those candidates?
I mean, you could look at Tease, you could look at Roops, you could look at Chris Murray, you could look at multiple different options. The Nets just now waived Cam Thomas.
Go get Cam Thomas? I like Cam Thomas.
I don't. I want nothing to do with Cam Thomas. Hard pass, dog.
Yeah.
But is it like people are freaking? Why didn't they do anything? It seems like it's Groundhog Day. They don't do stuff at the trade deadline. Again, I've heard the way I will always do this. Be like, oh, you're carrying water. I'm like, no, I'm doing the thing that says this is what they've done.
I am not telling you that you're carrying water.
Oh no, it's just gonna be wave after wave after.
But what I will say though is when we started and Giannis wanted out, I mean that instantly started the conversation.
Is Giannis moving?
No.
Okay, then it's.
But when that happened a week ago or a week plus ago, 2 weeks ago, we on this show talked many, many times about could the Blazers be a player for it?
And they are.
And I think
despite what you have heard, they are. They are.
I guess that's not good enough for a lot of people.
I just don't care.
I need you to care a little bit.
I know. I don't because this fan base for so long, it's so freaking tiresome. It's never good enough. It's never good enough.
Well, and I don't know if it's that.
No, it is. It doesn't matter. You know, when they made the move for Denny in that moment, they gave up Malcolm Brogdon and Bub Carrington. How dare they?
We didn't know what Denny Avdija
They
would
didn't
be.
get enough out of Damian Lillard. Why didn't they just take the Miami deal? There's Drew Holiday. It's like, for the love of God, people, they're not competing for a title. They're getting better. Their books look good. They got good deals for Shaden and Tumani. Stop bitching about everything.
But I think
when they get the guy, if Giannis is on the team and their feet are to the fire and they go through a deadline and a title window, then be pissed off. Like, the Warriors right now, Warriors fans have every right in the world for being sold light years BS when you have a top
Kuminga.
5 player at his position in the history of the game. And you got James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga, and they were both dumped for nothing.
Yeah.
You have every right to be pissed about that.
You got 4 titles to back up.
But you still have every right to be pissed about it because you have one of the GOATs.
And I think some of that narrative around Zubac coming out, I think that's what makes it tough for a lot of Blazer fans, is that you can see a team like Indiana who is making moves for the future at what I would argue is not that much of a cost for them.
Oh, the Pacers giving up unprotected picks for a team that doesn't bottom out, that only gets better by homegrown talent. That is a massive, massive move for them.
Not if they finish in the top 4 of the draft lottery.
Which they have done how many times in their franchise's history?
Understood. But the Spurs hit again. They got Duncan and then hit again on Wemby.
Were the Blazers in the running for those?
Yeah.
Okay. Sucks to suck, dog. That's what it comes down to.
Well, I don't think that's a very nice thing to say.
Luck didn't go your way.
Yeah.
Luck didn't go your way.
But I think that's what makes it hard for Blazer fans to digest, because they can see other people thinking about not just this year, but the future as well.
How are the Blazers, in what way are the Blazers not thinking about the future by not moving Robert Williams III for a second-round pick?
An expiring asset and getting 0 out of it.
What if they go into the playoffs and Robert Williams is valuable for them?
How far are the Blazers going in the playoffs?
What if they actually get to the playoffs? A team that has not been in the playoffs for 5 years. For a market that has lived in the playoffs their entire existence.
I think if the Blazers get to the playoffs, I don't think a lot of people have a ton of expectations.
Okay.
At least I don't think
I don't
they should.
either.
You can maybe win that
but
game.
Does a second-round pick that you can buy, is that more valuable? No. The answer is no. It's not.
Look, I always want to be invited to the dance, but I don't know if the Blazers getting the play-in game this year and losing or winning and then getting routed in a full series really moves the needle for me. So at that point, I'm not a tank guy per se, but at that point, yeah, I might like the assets.
A second-round pick doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, but it does if someone's going to walk. I think that's just where a lot of people have.
It doesn't.
I'm not concerned about Robert Williams III. I am not.
It's just.
I'm just trying to see the other end.
Their other big right now is Young Hansen.
Mm-hmm.
If Donovan gets dinged up, Young is starting games.
That's a fair point. With Duop Reith out for the year and obviously sent away, who he was waived, if you're curious about what happened with Duop. Yeah, it gets tough.
It is what it is.
And can Rob Will teach Donovan stuff that is more valuable than moving him at the deadline?
And again,
there is that aspect
if there was a first-round pick out there, which there wasn't.
No.
If there was a first-round pick out there for Rob, then I'd be like, even if it's a bad first. Even if it's a bad first.
Yeah.
You can talk me into that pretty easily. But second-round pick, I just don't care. They got 4 out of Gary Payton II. Like,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, like you can just get them. It's currency, but if you want them, you can go buy them. The Blazers had 3 of them and didn't use them because their roster was full.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't look at it that way.
Moving into 10 Toes Down for It's a Thursday here. We do it every Thursday at 12:15. Get some of them questions in for us. We'll take shots at them. 503-864-6326. Throwing a little Blazers. We'll keep this conversation going a little bit and have some fun with some other questions, some Olympic stuff as well. It is a Thursday. The trade deadline has passed, and it seems that your Portland Trailblazers have not made any more deals other than acquiring Vit Krejci for the 2026 season. This is Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 The Fan.
There's no fence sitting here.
Sooner or later, man's got to pick sides.
This is 10 Toes Down, where the firm picks a side and is all in.
They know where I'm at. 10 toes down.
On the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM. The Fan.
All right, 10 toes down, my friends. It's a Thursday. That means you know we're here for 10 toes down. The questions, the hard-hitting questions that you ask us, and we cannot go halfsies on it. This was all born out of Patrick being a giant wishy-wash kind of guy. You know, I live in a world where I firmly believe that you can feel this way about your friends and brethren.
I wish that I could bake a cake made out of rainbows and smiles, and we'd all eat it, be happy.
That is not what this is about. This is not for cowards. This is for adults. This is a big boy conversation. You want to put your big boy pants on? Isn't that the line that he says? That's 10 toes down here. Where do you want to start here, Danny? Want to take a little break from the Blazers here?
No,
for a
get
minute?
into it.
Get into the Blazers? Okay, where I'm going to use this. Boy, the text line is a lot right now. There's a lot going in there. I don't know. What do you want me to say? 10 toes down. The Blazers will do something monumental this offseason.
I think there's a real chance that they're going after that.
No, 10 toes down.
Screw it, I'll say yes.
You say yes.
Yeah.
Moving key players, whether they be young, older, for some kind of impact that really moves the needle on this roster.
Mm-hmm.
I will 10 toes down and say no. I don't. I think the trade deadline today has shown that this team really likes the young bones and would like to keep riding with the young bones. I don't think this team is sold on Milwaukee really becoming something to put around Giannis and will eventually move Giannis, thus making those picks they have more valuable than maybe any player that can be landed right away.
I think
just how I feel.
There's more,
I would love to be wrong. For the record, I would love to be wrong.
I think there's more than Giannis out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'd be curious who that might be. Could it be a Kawhi Leonard? Could it be an Austin Reeves? Obviously, we know Cat and Bridges are going to be on the market for people that want them. I wonder who else in the league that I'd be really interested in.
Well,
Zion?
Who ends up? I mean, he's already on the market.
Yeah.
Zion and Ja are already on the market. Have been for a while.
I'm not counting Ja ever again.
Sabonis is on the market. Levine's on the market. DeRozan's on the market.
I'm talking big guys. I'm talking Kawhi level guys.
And there were calls made
Austin
on Kawhi.
Reeves is a better player than Sabonis, DeRozan, Levine, that tier of players.
For sure.
Who would fit the best on this team? 10 toes down. A superstar in the league who would fit best on the Blazers.
I mean,
that you could potentially get with your compensation. Maybe it's Shaden, maybe it's Scoot, maybe it's Drew, Jeremy, etc.
That would take a while to kind of go through because there's plenty of guys that would fit best, but are they available? And is the asking price right?
Like Nikola Jokic fits best on every team.
Yeah, Jokic is really good. Victor Wembanyama, really good on this team.
Would take Wemby.
Yeah,
and that's why I always try to mean, and we talk about this with the Luka situation where everyone's available. Yeah, everyone's available.
Like in theory, Michael Porter Jr. would be really good on this team.
Yeah,
but his back is a ticking time bomb, and he makes a ton of money. Like having a 6'10" guy who shoots the living crap out of the ball would be a big time value add to this team.
Yeah, I think next year
Michael Porter Jr. is basically a 50, 40, 85 shooter at 6'10" on volume.
Yeah,
Lauri Markkanen would be a really good add to this team.
Dope.
Like,
that was the player I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I
just want shooting. I'm just tired of nobody being able to make a bucket.
Trey Murphy would be a really good value add to this team.
Dope.
Like, there's no doubt about that. If you're wondering, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, like shooting with size, it would be a really valuable thing to add to this team.
10 toes down, Danny. This pick that could end up being the Blazers pick or the Bulls pick, excuse me. What is the level of importance of this is?
People have been doing this basically ever since Neil O'Shea made that trade. You should just convey it. Just pay it. Just why?
Get rid of it.
If it's a 0% interest loan, why pay it off?
Fair.
Why pay it off?
Fair.
Why pay it off until you have to pay it off?
Would you rather have, here's another 10 toes. Would you rather have that pick or lose the play-in game?
I don't care. Don't pay it off until you have to pay it off.
Well, then tell me more about this. Why? I'm confused.
If you lose the play-in game, it's a lottery pick, and you don't pay it off. If you get into the playoffs, you pay it off because you're not on the lottery.
Oh, so whenever the Blazers
it's top 14 protected.
Mm,
That's the thing.
So whenever the Blazers make the playoffs, their next first-round pick will be
that
the
pick
Bulls.
will be the Bulls. And they don't have to pay it off until 2028. It was like, well,
That's
you can't
a
do it.
weird deal.
You don't. Yeah,
That's a super weird
it's
deal.
a dumb deal.
Shouldn't be allowed to make deals like that. That's kind of malpractice.
Especially with that many years on it, for the love of God. Now, in a roundabout way, it allowed them to tank and have the pick protected.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you could say that part of it was good.
If
but
the Blazers
the years was just like,
if they never make the playoffs by 2028, nothing happens.
it converts into something I can never remember what it is.
Okay.
I'll have to double check it. But people are like, well, if you do that, you can unlock everything else. Do that when you need to.
Sure. I didn't know it was like that. That's some weird language.
It is. It's very specific language.
Yeah. And what was that for? What was that in? Like, what trade deal was that a part?
Covington.
Oh, Robert Covington. So many average players.
Or is
on
that
this.
Nance? It was one of those two. It's one. I can never remember which
So
one it
many
is.
average players on this Blazer team.
Do you want to drag that across the table a few more times?
Oh, is it driving you nuts?
Yes.
You are, my friend. My friend, you want to 10 toes down? Any little thing right here is going to drive you crazy.
No, that sounded. It kept coming through, and I'm like, what is that?
You are so close to blowing a load.
I'm so close to what?
Blowing your top.
Ross is looking around like, sorry, come again? Or maybe don't.
Yeah, dude. The tiniest thing is ready to
I
set
can't
you
take
off.
you guys anywhere.
The tiniest thing is ready to set you off, dude. You were like a ticking time bomb.
No, I couldn't figure out what it was at first. I thought it was my
It's just over here.
headphones. Well, it was behind your water bottle, so I couldn't see what it was, and I'm like, am I tripping balls right now? Like, what is that noise?
It's my my smoothie jar.
Did that one come up in your bag?
No, because I closed it. My lunch came open in my bag yesterday. It's one of the few things that I get really, really frustrated with my wife about is sometimes things don't get closed fully.
With tuna?
Oh man, dude, it's like tuna and Greek yogurt and feta cheese and
Things that just
chickpeas
smell
and-
great after a day.
Yeah.
But the whole idea, and I have maintained this thought process for a long time, and I've talked to the front office about this, and in general, like, why pay it off? Like, if we have to, we can.
Sure.
You can remove the protections on it and give them this instead of this, or player instead of this, or however many seconds. Like, what you can make transactions to pay it off if you need it to unlock something else.
10 toes down, the Blazers can convince Giannis to come play in Portland.
I'll say yes.
I'm going to say no. I think he's too obsessed with the big market now. That if he was going to go to a small
Minnesota's
market,
not a big
might just
market.
say in Milwaukee. Yeah, but Minnesota's got a lot of nice pieces.
Sure. How many of those nice pieces are going to be there?
Rudy, because his contract is immovable.
You're looking at Rudy.
And Edwards is
Rudy
your
Nance.
franchise player for your life.
Which is, again, that's a good place to start.
It's a great place
I'd always
to
rather
start.
have the guy. And then figure it out than not.
And Edwards.
So, yeah, you have two probably top 7 players in the league. You're definitely a title contender.
10 toes down, no movement at the trade deadline says more about Tom Dundon than Joe Cronin.
No.
I also agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think it says anything. And that's honestly the biggest question I have.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest question I have. I've talked to Joe about this. The idea of, like, do you feel that there's any, all I can do is operate under the answer he's given me.
Sure.
Which is no, there's no additional thing there.
That's cool.
There's no fear, and he's allowed to operate the way that he needs to operate.
Because I would love to be a fly on the wall just to see those conversations.
I would of the conversations in the NBA right now, I would love that one probably the most.
Dundon and Cronin?
Not just because it's the Blazers, but because it's a new owner.
New owner and a current regime.
When a new owner comes in with a current regime kind of deal,
Yeah.
I want to know, like, what was that like when Ishbia came in and talked to James Jones?
What are the Mavericks talking to Nico Harrison about? Hey, I'm going to move Luka. Good idea. Said who?
Yeah, they're doing transactions right now without a GM.
Wow.
So it's like,
hey, you moved up one spot in the draft to get Marvin Bagley III. All-time worst trade, 10 toes down. Oh yeah.
No, the Mavs.
Yeah.
No,
trading Luka. They basically got Marvin Bagley.
Oh,
III.
okay, yeah. When I was like, wait, what? No,
because Marvin went above
They
Luka.
traded with the Hawks for Trae Young. Oof.
Woof. Woof. Woof.
Yeah, it's a tough place.
Trae Young got you Marvin Bagley III.
Yeah. I would very much like to be a fly on that wall.
Yeah, it would be fascinating.
Because the thing is, like, everybody can say, well, Dunn's done this and Dunn's done that, or previous owners have done this. Like, my general philosophy is, if you're a new owner, you're going to want to do something splashy. That's why my 10 toes down about the Blazers making a big move this summer, I believe, is real.
One quick more Blazer one, and then we'll get out of here. This just came across. 10 toes down. Blazers getting past the trade deadline makes things easier on the guys that have been mentioned in trade talks up to this point. Looks like some of the guys were playing pretty tight, Drew and Shaden included. Trade deadline gone. You guys are staying here. Do players play better?
I believe that guys probably are a little bit tight to an extent.
I think it's just natural reaction to be a little tight. I'm a little tight, and I don't even play for the team.
We've seen it around the league, this kind of thing regularly. But I don't think it's impacting the team up and down. So we'll see.
I will 10 toes down that yes. Yes, I think guys will play a little looser. You don't got to worry about stuff. It's just, like I said, it's just natural.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anybody in their job, You can walk into any job you have and be like, I don't really like my job right now, and my boss has been kind of on me a lot. Like, is this the day I get fired? And then your boss says, hey, man, we really like you, and here's this new project that I want you to take the lead on. You're like, oh, I feel a little better now. It's like validation.
Sure. There's
everybody needs a little validation.
I'm not discounting it, but I don't know.
I wish the Blazers would have got Triple J, though.
Look, if you're talking about one transaction, I'm like, ooh, it would have been nice to do that.
Yeah. Triple J would have been nice.
That's certainly something I would have been like, I like that.
Yeah. The Luke Kennard trades of the world are not my jam.
It's somebody's like,
and I don't want James Harden.
You let the Lakers get him from nothing. He's an $11 million contract who's expiring.
Yeah.
Are you sure the Blazers are looking to re-sign him in the offseason, or do you get, 70% of that in Vit Krejci for $3 million a year under team control?
Mom, can we get Luke Kennard? We have Luke Kennard at home.
You have a 6'8" white guy shooter on your team that you got for significantly less. And it was like, well, Luke Kennard's the number one 3-point shooter in the league. I'm like, Vit Krejci's like third.
All right, we'll keep in some 10 toes down here. We'll get off the Blazers and have a little more fun. We'll kind of loosen up here as well ourselves after the trade deadline has passed. And the Blazers seem to be standing pat with just Vit Krejci as the new addition and keeping the guys intact. So you Scoot Shea Klingon lovers out there, they still here. You Drew and Jeremy lovers, they still here. The team's back in action on Friday. Right over there, that's the Kahuna with sports.
You mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down?
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Langdon Farms Golf Club. Good or bad weather, the golf course is always the driest around. Download the Langdon Farms app today to get all the latest news and specials. First on the Fan, the NBA trade deadline has come and gone. Giannis Antetokounmpo remains a Milwaukee Buck. Meanwhile, the Trailblazers' only move was acquiring Vit Krejci on Sunday. They are off until tomorrow night when they host the Memphis Grizzlies. Blazers are 23 and 28, 10th in the Western Conference, and they now have to waive or buy out two players in order to hang on to Caleb Love and Sidi Sissoko. The Lakers getting some shooting as they have reportedly acquired Luke Kennard from the Hawks in exchange for Gabe Vincent and a second-round pick. The Pelicans sending Jose Alvarado to the Knicks for Dalen Terry, 2 second-round picks, and cash. Meanwhile, the 76ers sending Eric Gordon and a second-round pick swap to the Grizzlies. The Clippers sending Ivica Zubac and Kobe Brown to the Pacers for Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, multiple first-round picks, and a second-rounder. And the Hornets trading Tyus Jones to the Mavericks for Malachi Branham. Got the first round of the Waste Management Phoenix Open from TPC Scottsdale. Chris Goddard up at the top of the leaderboard after an 8 under 63. He is 2 strokes clear of Matt Fitzpatrick. Some other names of note: Jordan Spieth, Kashmir Keith Mitchell, Colin Morikawa, all tied for 28th at 1 under par. Sepp Straka, Tom Hoagie, Hideki Matsuyama, Xander Schauffele, and Brooks Koepka, all at even par. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris and Meringue. Weekdays 10 to 1. The Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Spit on that thing.
This is part 2 of 10 Toes Down. Spent the first time at 10 Toes Down talking a little Blazers as they have stood pat at the deadline. Beat Krejci is the upgrade. As the meme says, the true value of the trade deadline is Scoot Henderson. I'd love to see Scoot tomorrow. That'd be fun. Obviously,
That'd be
limited
great.
minutes. That'd be fun. I hope Scoot plays tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, Saturday. That'll get me to watch Blazers. I mean, to be fair, I watch Blazers every night. Except for that Peacock game. Dude, I can't believe I fell asleep in that game.
Really?
Well, no, I can. But like from a watching that game standpoint, yes, I believe I can. But I don't know, man. We do this for a living. I'm trying to watch games and figure out what the hell's going on, And here I am,
Gone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the wife came in and turned the TV off too. At least I had brushed my teeth and all that, so we were good.
Ooh, there you go.
You had one that came across earlier. You were talking about some issues with some of the big jump skiers at the Olympics.
Mhm.
Right now I'm watching snowboard big air. Man, these guys are good. Japanese currently running the
They're
table.
really good at
Top 1, 2, and 3. There is not an American until number 6 right now. It is qualification. So there is time. But the Japanese, they're bringing it. Trying to be snowboard dominant. What was this thing you saw, Danny, you wanted to use for 10 Toes Down?
So there is a brewing scandal in the world of ski jumping.
People can kiss my ass.
There are accusations of doping where ski jumpers are using a hyaluronic acid to enlarge or engorge the size of their genitals to get more lift on their aerodynamic suits.
It's an A-bomb from A-Rod.
So for people that don't know, these suits have microchips in them because of the surface area. And because there's another scandal with the Norwegians where they increased the size of a suit. And if you're like, well, why is that big of a deal? Well, when we talked about the whole ski jump versus skeleton thing, the whole thing about them flying, they fly.
You're flying.
You fly. And so you basically go full squirrel suit.
It's like,
so,
I was just about to say the squirrel suit.
Yeah. So adding a couple centimeters to your aerodynamic suit has the ability, mathematically, to increase your lift so much that you get 6 more meters.
Yeah.
Of hang time. That's a big number.
So 10 Toes Down, would you put steroids?
Would you put
in
acid in your junk
in your unit
to enlarge your unit
and win a gold medal? So you're telling me I got a larger unit and a gold medal?
Temporarily larger, but also there are underlying effects that can come with that because you're putting acid in your unit.
I think I got to say no, Bob.
Yeah.
I think I got to say no.
You're not injecting anything into my unit.
Look, I don't know if I live in the Mike Vrabel world, but I am at peace with my situation. Is that the most non-braggy, non-self-deprecation way to say it? I'm at peace with the situation that I've got going.
Looks like a baby's arm holding an apple. Still one of my favorite lines.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, go for glory, I guess, right?
Certainly
that Olympic Village. I mean, they say it's a giant party. I
mean, the super babies that have to come out of that place. Just do governments come in and just steal them? Is that where we find super soldiers?
That's the cast of Mission Impossible.
Yes,
are just Olympic Village children.
It's like
Ethan Hunt's parents were
like
Olympians.
James Bond. He was an orphan.
Yeah,
it's like no,
his parents were Olympians.
His parents were Olympians, and they were stolen at birth. They hit him with the Men in Black flash stick. Like, nope, you were never pregnant. That 9 months of your life didn't exist.
10 Toes Down, the thong or boy shorts?
I'm a boy shorts guy.
Well, I prefer to wear boy shorts just because the thong kind of really rides up.
Yeah.
And I'm not really into that. So I'd probably go boy shorts. And not probably. I'm 10 Toes Down on boy
I'm going to look, I've lost a bet, had to wear the thong.
There is an interesting thing about that when you find attraction to, whatever gender you prefer, that there are times when what is hidden becomes more exciting than what is not hidden. I think I've always lived in that world. That I kind of like the idea of the unknown more than the known. Like, you'll show me some hots on the Instagrams and stuff, And I'm like, well, but I can see everything there. They're like, that's not that fun.
I mean, to be clear, when I show you haunts on Instagram, it's not my search feed. It's not my algorithm. It's somebody just pops up in there. It's like, you can look at my algorithm. My algorithm's clean. None of that nonsense.
Easy ride,
Me-
easy ride.
Get me in trouble. No.
I suppose that wasn't very fair. I did say, hey, bus, come on down.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good Lord. No, it's funny. I don't even have Instagram on my phone right now. It's amazing. Like, somebody texted in about Desi Johnson, the bobsledder. I saw her as part of like some workout thing. And I'm like, who's this? It turns out this smoke show of human beings, also an Olympic bobsledder. It's like
the correlation between how fit she is and bobsledding does not compute in my brain.
Like, just a mutant of a human, just abs. It's just like, good Lord, good for you. Like,
yeah, go for it.
But
yeah, my wife tends to dress fairly conservative, and she's always so hot when she does it.
Look, I'm going to sound like old fuddy-duddy here. Sometimes, more often than not, modesty can be sexier.
Baseball, baby. Come to my world, man.
It's fun.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
That is 10 toes.
It's fun to shake your fist in the air every now and then.
I do it every day, at least 4 times. That'll do it for us on 10 Toes Down. We do it every single Thursday at 12:15. Closing arguments coming up next. We'll take a recap of the trade deadline or lack thereof around the league and the Blazers, and also any other news and nuggies to send you on your way. Closing arguments is next. 105.1 The Fan.
of Harris and Meringue is wrapping up for the day.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
Which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing Arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Let's see. Finish up some things here before we send it on our way. Coming up on tomorrow's show, heavy Super Bowl. The Super Bowl's on Sunday, in case you forgot. I know we kind of got real sidetracked, at least on this program, with trade deadline stuff for your Portland Trailblazers. But we'll spend a lot of time on the Super Bowl tomorrow. We'll make our picks. Players you are most excited to see. I will introduce you to the halftime artist known as Bad Bunny. We will talk a little Blazers as they get Memphis ×2. Fun little show tomorrow. As Dirk keeps saying, it's the final football Friday of the year.
It's the little double up
So that's that.
Fun times.
Cleaning up on some stuff. Yes, Tarek Skubal wins his arbitration. He'll make $32 million
The biggest. It's the biggest.
Seahawks fully expect Eamon Wardy to play in the Super Bowl, as I did as well.
He came out flat out and said it.
Let's see. 49ers and Rams are going to play in Australia.
Good luck with that, dog. It's a long flight.
Yeah, but that game's going to be on at like 11 p.m., bro. Sign me up. Late night sports, dude. I love late night live sports.
What time do you go to bed?
Well, these days I go to bed a lot earlier.
Okay.
But for that, I'll stay up.
I will not.
Hopefully they do it on a Saturday.
I will not.
Why not on a Saturday?
Saturday, maybe you can talk me into it. But even then, probably not.
Calvin Sampson.
I'm not trying to stay up till 2 in the morning watching an NFL game. Are you kidding me?
Dude, you need to start drinking.
No.
Calvin Sampson, one of the most infamous bag men in the history of college basketball.
We Poe!
Says that University of Houston is Poe.
I think his exact quote was, we're poor, we've been poor, we're still poor.
I will back him a little bit that they do have a 5-star quarterback going to Houston next year, and that costs money.
They've gotten like multiple top 10 prospects on their basketball roster. So whatever you're doing, Sampson, keep it up.
Yeah, dude. Bagmen that can legally bagmen now do great. Do you think this means that Dabo was a bad bagman?
New era, yes.
That maybe he just honestly just coached his ass off, and that's what gave it to him?
Yeah, I think maybe he enjoyed the behind-the-scenes skullduggery of it all.
Let's see here. What's the biggest? Take the Blazers out of it, Danny. For you, what was the biggest move in the trade deadline?
I mean, I think it's probably between the Pacers and Jazz, going and getting big men.
More so than James Harden?
Yeah.
Very curious how that's all going to play out.
I think that's a disaster for Cleveland. I think that's a terrible move.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. We talked about it yesterday. I get it. When will we see him? Probably tomorrow. Let's see. Cleveland doesn't play tonight.
I think Saturday. I think
Saturday.
I think that they said they expected him to play Saturday night.
They expect him to play Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. Cleveland does not play tonight. They don't play tomorrow either. So Saturday is Cleveland at Sacramento. Doesn't have to go far from L.A. to Sacramento.
Nope. And Keon Ellis gets to go home.
So that'll be nice. Let's see. Tonight, prime. Tonight is a prime basketball night.
Thursday night.
Chicago at Toronto. Chicago going to trot out 5 guards, and their 6th man be a guard too.
Dude, the number of guard transactions the Bulls make. Like, there you go, Blazers fans. There's your alternate reality. You want transactions?
Dude, it's not an alternate reality. We already lived this.
I mean, this was
so many guards.
This was so many guards, though. So many guards in and out. I have no idea what they're doing. They did trade Kobe and Ayo, which I fully expected. I mean, everyone expected that to happen.
When you talk about Kobe White, from here on out, he has to be full name.
Yeah, it's fair.
There's only a one name Kobe.
Boss man got my.
No. I don't mean that. I knew you were going to go there. I didn't mean that.
I know.
I mean it specifically.
I need to be professional.
I know. That's a different conversation. I mean this specifically about Kobe White. Okay, there is only one person on this planet that gets one named. If your name is Kobe,
that's fine.
There's only one guy.
It's Kobe.
It's Kobe.
No, Kobe White.
No. Golden State will take on Phoenix. That's your second half of the doubleheader in the prime.
Kobe Brown. I love that we do have a Kobe Brown and a Kobe White.
Well, those kids were all born when Kobe Bryant was the best player in the NBA.
Kobe spells his C-O-B-Y. Kobe White does.
Still, though, but like that name is still around.
Sure.
Kobe Jones?
Is it Colby Jones?
Oh, it is Colby Jones. Yeah, good call. I just saw Scotty Scheffler just shot his first over par round since June.
One of us.
Wow, he is alive. Who would have thought that he's not a robot? That he's actually a human being?
It's part of the algorithm. You got to throw one in there every now and then.
This is the waste management, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the big one where everybody's drinking
Oh,
and causing
16th
a
hole.
scene.
Dude, I was out the other day with somebody, and they had a guy walk in. And he, hey, what's up? What's going on? He's like, oh, I'm getting a cut. I'm getting ready to go to waste management. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a good time. I was talking to my buddy last night. He's like, I'm like, what do you got coming up? He's like, oh man, I'm getting out of here tomorrow. I'm going down to Arizona. I'm like, waste management. He goes, yeah, Friday and Saturday. I'm like, I'm jealous.
You're so sad.
It's 80 degrees. It's gorgeous. Having a good time. I'm just like, oh, I want to go.
Do you want to talk about that story about old Shams that came across your timeline?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's a fun little one. The Milwaukee Bucks had a tweet 28 minutes ago. Just in, conversations would start about Shams Charania's future and discussing whether the ESPN Senior NBA Insider's best fit is staying on Giannis's All-Star celebrity team or elsewhere. Troll away, Bucks fans.
What are they mad at Shams about?
Well, because Shams has been beating the Giannis is getting traded drum for a year.
But Giannis is available now. He's not wrong.
Sure, but he's, it's going to get, I mean, it's 90% of their coverage.
I know. I talk with Sprague about this all the time. It makes me so sad that the NBA doesn't care about basketball. At least the coverage of it.
Well, they don't care about it with the 4-letter.
Yeah.
NBC and Amazon are showing that this is how
they
it's
are
done.
trying. Yeah, those post-game, pre-game shows are really nice. I mean, we opened the show with me bitching about poor Kenny the Jet.
And their actual game coverage.
Yeah.
Like the game against the Suns was phenomenal.
I don't know if you caught this in the Holmesy report, but did you see that last night was Dave Pasch and Jay Billis on the Knicks Nuggets game? Do you like when they do that, the crossover?
Yeah, well, because I love Pasch and Billis.
Well, I love Pasch and Billis too. I actually like the NBA guys on the college game a little more. Just because I'm so used. I rarely watch college basketball for NFL or NBA prospects. I watch college basketball for the best teams. I don't really gamble, but I throw some coin at March Madness.
Sure.
So it's like the one time of the year I gamble.
I don't really drink. I just have a bottle of tequila.
Every night.
That's. I don't really gamble, but I throw a coin down on the March Madness. You gamble.
Who do you think has to do more work? The college guys calling the NBA game?
NBA guys calling college. By orders of magnitude. They don't watch that. There's no way.
AJ Dibantasa?
They know that name. But beyond that, they don't. No.
You know my good friend Wimbenyama?
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
Oh,
they'll know the top prospects that are at their whatever shoe company they were at camp, kind of a deal.
Okay.
Beyond that, they're having to do some research.
Yeah, and I do love it. I didn't have the volume on the whole time, so I don't know if they got to it. But I do love when the college guys will talk about, like, I think I know it's kind of been beaten to death, but one of the stories I do love in the NBA is those Villanova guys playing together. Like, I think that's really cool. I think that's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think it's a poor roster construction. Those guys might have played well together at Villanova. I don't know if it works in the NBA, but I like that. It's showing some prestige and love to your alma mater.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all these Patriot fans or these ex-Patriot players that are so mad at Tom Brady because he won't root for the Patriots.
No, he just went to a franchise that just loves him more.
Money talks with that guy, dude. Money talks with that guy. Asante Samuel claimed that Tom Brady is jealous of Drake May. It's like, bro, you had Giselle and you have 7 rings. Drake May's been with the same girlfriend since the 7th grade.
No.
It's like Phillip Rivers in this thing.
But here's the thing. Does he get to keep the wife?
Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. That'll do it for us. We will catch you all tomorrow. Enjoy your Thursday. Duck Insider is next. For Danny Meringue, that's Jeff Rust. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.